Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Fucking like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the Who Dat Nation. Let's get a little Dennis before we get going. Here we go.
Yeah. Look, the athletic quarterback presents a challenge, and we've spent a lot of time, talking about that, discussing that, and look, we'll put a good plan together, and we'll play well this week.
I know injuries are part of the game. Do you feel a little unlucky there, or do you not allow yourself to feel that way?
Yeah, look, it's part of what you deal with. Unfortunately, we got a lot of really good players that are on the injury report right now. But that's part of what you deal with in this league, and we'll, again, like I said, we'll figure out a way to put a plan together that gives us a chance to go win a game.
How do you balance knowing that you have a short week and then a long break with guys that may be close dealing with the injury?
Listen, I think the reality is if they're healthy enough to play, then they'll play.
With Michael Thomas coming off of potentially a fourth game miss, was there consideration to put him on IR at the beginning when he got hurt?
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of the discussion. We didn't feel like we wanted to go there at that point in time. Look, he's progressing. We'll see where he's at. I think that's always the real balance that you go through, because some of these injuries, there's no crystal ball that says this is exactly, when somebody's going to be healthy enough to play. And, hindsight's 20/20. It's typically a pretty tough decision if you're going to put a player of that caliber, on IR, even though they can return after 4 weeks. So you certainly don't want a guy like that missing a game if he's healthy enough to play.
So is his injury worse than you thought, or was it on that IR line, I guess?
I think that's probably a decent way to describe it. Look, it was something that we felt like we were kind of, in that range, but yet if things went well, we might be able to be, ahead of that schedule. It just, these injuries, you really can't use the information that you have sitting in front of you, and you try to make the best decision you can. And those are not foolproof decisions.
What is the
Medical decisions. That's doctors, bro.
You look at it as when Jameis Winston is healthy, it's his job, or is it performance based?
I think the number one thing is that let's get Jameis where he's 100% healthy. look, he was healthy enough to be the emergency third quarterback in this game last week.
That man
part of
said
that was,
100% healthy. Y'all caught that?
manipulating the roster to get 48 guys, up on game day. So, look, Andy's done a good job when he's been in there. We've produced and scored some points. So, let's get Jameis fully healthy, and then we'll go from there.
I guess that means Taysom Hill would have been the backup if needed.
Correct, in that game.
Does that, when he said, when you said, get kind of like limit what else he does and try not to like have him out there for
No.
snaps?
No.
I was looking at Kingsbury, I guess he was finishing high school, you were a grad assistant at A&M. Did y'all ever cross paths or any ties that bind you all as Texans or any school?
No, not really. I remember him when he was a player. And I know when he was the head coach out at Texas Tech, we went out there to watch Patrick Mahomes work out. So that's pretty much the extent of it.
As you're preparing for Arizona.
All right, that's enough of Dennis, man. Good Lord, man. It's like listening to a funeral, listening to Dennis, man. Shout out to the Who Dat Nation. Appreciate y'all being up in the stream. Much love to the fam. Please feel free to hit the like button as we get it going in this edition of Tacoma. Listen, that was Dennis Allen, my goodness. And of course, the questions about people were DMing me and asking me about Q, what's happening with Jameis? Do you think Jameis? Yada, yada, yada. Dennis Allen said that, and I just pinpointed it. Dennis said, man, we're trying to get this man 100% healthy. But Jameis, he wants him 100% healthy. That's not even close to that, man. So, all right, and even though we know, according to the injury report, and I'll show you guys that in a moment, the Saints injury report is showing that he's on that list. Let's look at this injury report right quick. 14 Saint players listed on Monday's injury report for the upcoming matchup against the Cardinals. Saints, they did not practice on Monday. The report is an estimation of the team's practice status. Mike Thomas, DNP'd. Jarvis, Andrus, Troutman, Kirkwood, Lattimore, DNP. Now, of course, you see the rest of the designation right there. Keith Kirkwood had an ankle issue. We know Troutman, reports are saying that Troutman might not be available for the game. Andrus Pete has a chest issue. So you got different things going on there. And of course, you look at, you see Ingram on the list now. He's dealing with an issue. Paulson Adebo with a knee limited. Marcus May with a rib issue. We know about that. Throckmorton hip. Peyton Turner limited. Jameis limited. And of course, you see Dalton right here with a back issue limited. So both your quarterbacks dealing with back problems. And Saints are pretty banged up, man. They're pretty freaking banged up right now. On the injury report, 14 people headed into the matchup. And remember, what's encouraging about this list is one name in particular that's not on it, and that's Chris Olave, which you might very well get Chris Olave back. But you hearing what Dennis Allen, was talking about. And shout out to Cat Terrell for kind of grilling him a little bit to try to release or give some more information about what's going on with Michael Thomas. Is it something that you anticipated? Was it talk for him being on there? Because, 4 weeks could have been on the IR. It could open up a spot for somebody else to participate. And he was saying it's based on the information you was given. I'm like, dog, that's medical information, man. That's not a poor organization here. The Saints have resources, financial and otherwise. Man, they connected to one of the biggest hospital systems in the South. We talking about the Oshina health system, and I know they're not perfect, but good grief. You got to at least be able to figure out what's going on with the man's toe and give you a time frame. But like I said, a lot of the things that I see with the Dennis Allen administration is a bit concerning. It's like certain moves that they slow on the trigger. And I've said this in weeks past on certain decisions. They lack the foresight, the clairvoyance. And I'm like, damn, how they didn't know that? Damn, how they ain't know this? This is a bit concerning. They say if that's Mickey Loomis. No, this type of stuff didn't happen with Mickey Loomis and Coach Payton, at least on that level where they were ahead of it. At least he was overdoing it with the moves. He'll bring in some trash can guy that never would ever see the light of day, but they were making moves. He had a pipeline of people coming in and out of the building. Dennis Allen's a little bit different, and so far as he got to pick this shit up, man. It ain't just Mickey Loomis, because Mickey is gonna sit back. This is you, the guy, you the head coach. You're gonna have to step your game up here and handle all sides at the same time, which means that's why I was advocating during the last stream for Allen to release his play calling duties and let the two people, that's the defensive coordinator, like freaking Boltron over there. You take, I will form the torso, where you form the legs, I form the upper portion, and we come together and form the defensive coordinator. No, you got two guys for one position. Give them the job. Let those guys learn and call the plays. You act as an overseer of the whole matrix. The offensive coordinator, you got to oversee him. He needs help, get on there and help him out. Even though you're not a guy that knows that that's not your forte, but you do know how to defend his style of system, so you can have some input on what happens. Let your defensive coordinators, the co-coordinators, do their thing, and you need vision over the special teams. Not the kicking. And you had Blake Gillikin with the muff that helped set up the play, the 60-yard play, in which Chase gashed the Saints on one play for 60 yards. But he needs to act as an overseer of everything, not just up here calling plays. So release your play calling responsibilities or duties to your coordinators. You got two of those guys. Let them handle it. But anyway, let's go over this right quick, fam. And I'm opening up the lines of communication. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for being here in the stream. Over 100 of us up in the building. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Shout out to all the family members in here in the building. Carla, shout out to you. T-Mama, what's up, baby? Good to see you in the chat. Hope everything is good with you. Brother Doug, shout out to you. Gundam, Brother Trail, Who That Dana, appreciate you. Ant-Man, King C3, OG Jerry, Brother Prime, what up, booming? Gundam, once again, shout out to you, bro. Willie, shout out to you, man. Willie Cameron, shout out to you. 504 Cole, Lori, shout out to you. Good to see you. Eternal Absolute. Much love to the fam, man. All y'all, man. Brother Tragics in this thing. Miss Rocky 32, shout out to you. Appreciate you. Young City Night Ward, much love. Big Boy Payne Music, shout out to you, bro. Good to see you in the building. All right. Big ups to everybody. St. John Butler, I see you, fam. L, shout out to you, fam. Much love to you. Good to see you in the stream. All right, who else we got here? Saints, all right, Saint Zone, shout out to you too, fam. Much love to you. All right, who else we got chilling in this? TJ, shout out to you, bro. Good to see you. L Dub, shout out to you. AJ, shout out to you. K Dot, what's up, baby? Shout out to you. Snake Bite, Rich, what's happening, fam? Good to see y'all in the building as well. Much love to everybody, man. And if I didn't give you a shout out, give me a who that, baby, and I'll make sure I try to give you a shout out as well. What's up, Rose? Shout out to you, brother. Good to see you. All right, so anyway, what's up, Robert? Shout out to you, brother. Said, I see you, fam. Thank you. All right, so anyway, fam, let's pop on into this thing quickly. I'll move through the team statistics, and I'll open up the phone lines for communication after we cover a few news, notes, and items for the family members to get to kind of chime in with their thoughts and have a bit of a session. And like I said, it's not going to be a long show, but I want to be able to get people in and out. Let's flow with it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it flowing. Let people come in here and let people come out. Everybody want to get a chance to handle their business. Yeah, I know Dre. Dre said Saints release Quan Baker. I expected that, bro. I expected that was going to happen. I expected them to kind of release him after he was done with that 6-game suspension. So we'll see what's popping. Mr. Who That, shout out to you. Mark, I see you, fam. Shout out to you. We need a new coach, period. A good coach can make a round 6 pick play like a first-round pick. Look at what Coach Prime is doing at Jackson State. We need someone has passion for winning. Facts, Big Q. Shout out. All right, Mark, thank you. Shout out to Adrian. Good to see you, Queen. Much love to you. Appreciate you being up in the building as well. So big ups to all the fam, man, as we get going. 30-26, fam. Was this I ain't gonna get too heavy into it because I kind of was really heated the last broadcast. 30-26, Saints had the game in hand and then turned it loose in the matchup, which is the toughest part, because having it and then not having it, like you had possession of it and then you turn it loose, that's a whole nother fact, as opposed to you never having it in the first place. Saints had the game in hand, foolishly allowed it to go. 22-21 on the first downs. Saints were 8 of 17 on third down. Bengals 6 of 10, 71 total plays. The Saints had 71 total plays versus 54 by the Bengals. 71. So it had a total of how much, what, 23 extra plays, and you still couldn't get it done? 399 total yards to 348, 10 of 10 on the drives. Saints averaged 5.6 yards per play. The Bengals 6.4, 273 on their pass versus 171 on ours. The Saints ran at that thing 228 yards on the ground. The Bengals 75 yards, 14 rush attempts for the Bengals. They averaged over almost 5.5 yards per rush. Like the Saints stopped the Bengals queue from running the ball. No, they didn't. The Bengals stopped themselves from running the ball. The Bengals will average over 5 yards per rush. The Saints, I mean, if the Bengals really wanted to keep running, the Saints were allowing them to rush, gash at them for 5 yards per carry. They would have had it. They were just, doing the infinite a shotgun, which we should have been able to do something with that. But anyway, 228 on the rushing attack. Saints had 34 attempts. They averaged almost 7 yards per rush on the game. There's no way you're supposed to lose a game like that. The Bengals were a perfect 3 for 3 in the red zone. That's one of the key statistics from a team standpoint. You pick out all of the statistics. You say which one that really you could pick out and say, damn, the red zone 3 for 3. The 21 points that they scored in the red zone versus the 7 for the Saints. The Saints were 1 and 5 in the red zone. They were 3 for 3, 21 points. So every time they got down there on the Saints defense, they scored, which is the thing. Turnovers won by the Bengals, which was that fumble, the special teams fumble. The Saints had 0 fumbles and over 200 yards. And in a rare circumstance, they lose it. 32-14 was the time of possession versus 27-46 by the Bengals. Andy Dalton was 17 of 32 for 162. He had a touchdown. Kamara led the rushing effort, 19 carries for 99 yards. Traquan Smith was the top catcher, 3 catches, 43 yards in the score. What's also interesting, family, about this whole situation, what's interesting about this is, remember when we covered the Seattle matchup a week ago, we made mention of the fact that the Saints couldn't allow explosives. When we talked about explosive plays, the Saints, and this is something that I alluded to talk about on the last stream. I was pinpointing and hitting on the defense, and I was pinpointing the dysfunctional situations that occurred that created the breakdown in the game. Well, you can span back to the Seattle matchup where Taysom Hill was just the obvious sign that he just lifted the team on his shoulders. Well, in this matchup, it wasn't the same impact. The Saints didn't hurt themselves in terms of the offenses when I'm speaking of turning the ball over. They actually held on to the ball. The issue is the quarter. Andy Dalton came into this game, and even though he was 7 of 32, he had 32 attempts. Andy Dalton wasn't crisp in this game. He was throwing behind guys. He was throwing at their feet on check downs. He was throwing the ball low. He didn't look crisp in the matchup, but he's a backup. We had none of our starting wide receivers, our top 3 wide receivers missing. Traquan Smith and Marquez Callaway was our starters, and those guys performed admirably to be ushered in. They're the 4th level guys that's ushered in. Matter of fact, had Dalton put the ball up a little higher during the first half, he would have completed a touchdown, but ultimately he threw the ball too low for the wide receiver to make a play on it. And that was his mark for most of the game, was these low balls of out of the way catches. And, even the ball to Keith Kirkwood, Kirkwood had to go up to get the ball. So it wasn't a crisp throwing game by Andy Dalton, but the Saints offense did enough to help you win. Even when they couldn't score touchdowns, the field goal unit was able to collect on the field goals. Will Lutz hit a bunch of them. But the defense, not only the shabby tackling, we could point out guys like Bradley Roby, who was responsible for at least 3 bad tackles, including the one where he tried to grab around the waist of Jamar Chase, and he spent him off him, and Jamar Chase went off to the running. It was the explosive plays that killed the Saints. The 3 red zone plays that they're speaking about the Saints defense surrendered explosive plays. Joey Burrow ran for 19 yards where the Saints dumb defense couldn't wrap him up and get him down. And he's not even a super athletic quarterback like that to be even doing that. It was just sloppy, dumb football by the Saints. He scrambles for 19 yards down the field for a score. 2 passes to Jamar Chase, including a 60-yard for one play. The explosives. You cannot allow explosives there, because if the defense are allowing explosive plays, they should know better, because the offense cannot compete with the Cincinnati Bengals in its current state. Got a backup quarterback, backup wide receivers. That was the game plan in the scouting report that we covered in the pregame before this game started, is the fact that we could not go into this game in a shootout capacity with our currently constructed offense, even though we almost beat this team, had the defense make one stand. One stand we could have had to win. The Saints defense surrendered 2 touchdowns in the second half, and ultimately the game was lost. But like I said, I digress. There's a lot to finger pointing to happen, but we don't have a lot of time to fix anything. The Saints have a couple of practices. They have to get down to it, and somebody need to take control of the steering wheel and direct this car to where it's supposed to be, because something missing big time. Now, besides the injuries, of course, that's impacting the team. That's no excuse. You are supposed to still step up and handle the business. Let me go over a few stories here, fam. Also, let me go over a few stories here. I just covered the report. Let's cover this. As the Saints have waived wide receiver Quan Baker, who just finished a 6-game suspension. That's from Phil Yates. He dropping the scoop. This is what Dennis Allen was saying during the press conference. I played a little bit. Is he's urging the injury-riddled Saints to keep grinding. And, of course, that's from the Yahoo Sports, who's dropping the science. They're saying quarterback Jameis Winston has a back injury that hampered him for 2 games, before he gave away the backup Andy Dalton for week 4. Receiver Michael Thomas Foot has missed the past 3 games. Marshawn Lattimore went out in week 5, as he did the 11th overall draft pick Chris Olave's concussion, who'd been New Orleans' most productive receiver in Thomas's absence. Unfortunately, he says we got a lot of really good players that are on the injury report. Still, Allen thought he and his staff had done just about everything right on Sunday against the Bengals. Do you hear that? He did everything right. This type of delusional stuff kind of this type of delusional thinking, it doesn't inspire in confidence in me and the great Saint think tank. It doesn't, because you want to see if these guys know what they're doing and they can figure it out. So when you hear them say stuff like Allen thought him and his staff done just about everything right on Sunday against the Bengals. No, you didn't. And you can't say it was one play that's why they lost. No, the Saints were breaking down in the second half. The defense was just totally not right. They weren't tired. The Saints offense put up almost 8 minutes on the drive. They had an 8-minute drive in the second half, almost 8 minutes that ended in the field goal ultimately. But you had which is a travesty within its own mindset. If you got their defense on the opposing defense on the field for almost 8 minutes, that defense tired as hell, and you still couldn't get 7 points. Anyway, that's another sticking point. They got a field goal there, almost 8 minutes. The defense came back on the field and let the Bengals march up the field. They escorted them. I use the term escorted them. They didn't stop them. They walked arm to arm with them into the end zone, and then thank y'all, for the date, and walked off. That's what the hell they did. Them dogs escorted them into the touchdown, arm to arm to the touchdown. Then later on, you got dumbasses like Bradley Roby. And Bradley Roby can't tackle. He need to go. Bradley Roby. And the thing about Lattimore, man, listen, Lattimore and the guys asked Dennis Allen, did we miss Marshawn Lattimore? You damn right. Because if Lattimore's there, at least it pushes Bradley Roby from starting against a number 2 wide receiver, because this dude, even some of the poorest cornerbacks in the league, like Eli Apple, was out there tackling what Bradley Roby could. Now, what the hell does that say? Eli Apple was out there making tackles and freaking Bradley Roby couldn't. I'm thinking about that. I'm like, man, you see Eli Apple thumbing his nose at the city of New Orleans and the Who-Dats after he was running around there causing pass interferences, and they wasn't giving no calls on it, but he was actually out there tackling. He hit Taysom Hill and drove him back. He drove Taysom back on the hit. He was out there playing, doing a few things. And he did more than what Bradley Roby did. Bradley Roby ain't do a goddamn thing, but gave up touchdowns and missed tackles, grabbing at people's feet. Anywho, this the type of stuff I'll be talking about when I be listening to these guys. But I'm like, man, you do a press conference, you best believe that I'm going to be listening to see if you know what you're talking about or that you figure it out. So if I hear Tyrann Mathieu say, man, Coach Dennis Allen called a good game. No, he didn't. No. I'm not going to sit up here and say and agree with you because I like you. I got to keep it $115. I got to tell and keep it real. So I disagree. Tyrann, you capping. Dennis Allen, you capping. And even Dalton got up there on the last one and said, yeah, you know, we could look at every game and say, no, Dalton, no. Why wouldn't you own your shit? That's the bottom line. How you throwing the ball low at everybody's feet? Anyway, let's finish this up, fam. Let me get on through here before I start getting nice, hot and heated. You're going to have to cook an egg on my damn forehead in a little bit. He says the Saints were unable to reach the end zone on 4 of the 5 drives inside the Cincinnati 20. They couldn't get one first down when they got the ball with 3:45 left and had a 26-24 lead. Just 2 might have been enough to run out of the clock. Oh, yes. Good news for the Saints. 2-4. They've been competitive. 3 of their losses have been by 8 or fewer points. Do that buy you any comfort? Does it buy you any comfort? Still, Allen thought, and here go to this sentence right here, the paragraph. Allen thought he and his staff had done just about everything right on Sunday against the Bengals. The Saints were missing their top 3 receivers, but rushed for 228 and never trailed during the first 58 minutes. But guess what? Guess how long a football game is? And guess how long you got to play football all the way to the zero out for the win. You can't play good football or decent football for 57 or 55, 56, 57, 58. You can't do that. You got to play it for the full 60 because right at that time, that's what happened. When you talking about we played a good 58 minutes of football, man, no coach in his right mind would sit up here and would even say that. I wouldn't dare tell you that because I know from being educated on the game that you have to play a full 60 minutes of football to win the damn game. So miss me with that. The rushing game was working, and it was, but not too much else. He said, what needs help here? Defensively, the Saints have struggled to produce turnovers. Since week 2, New Orleans has 2 fumble recoveries on 9 special teams plays, and it has only 1 interception all season long. It's not what we expect, Dennis Allen said. We made that point that we've got to be able to take the ball away more often, and we haven't been able to do that yet. So we're working on it. Boy, they work on a lot of stuff, don't they? Allen added that more pressure up front could force that kind of rush, inaccurate throws that are more likely to be intercepted. How is the Saints pass rush looking? Great Saint Tank. You want to comment on that? How's the pass rushing look? Made me start handing out grades. I used to do that on the previous streams when I started issuing out grades for offense, defense, and special teams. Maybe I'm going to start bringing that back. We got to bring that back. Stock up, stock down. Let's look at this one. Stock down. Dalton had his least efficient game in his 3 starts. He didn't help the Saints' top 3 receivers were out, but Dalton was unable to convert in the clutch despite the Bengals defense being forced to respect the New Orleans' formidable running threat. Dalton completed 17 of 32 attempts for his lowest completion rate of 53.1% this season and the lowest yardage total of 162. The offense struggled in the red zone, couldn't sustain any threatening drives in the final 10 minutes. That doesn't mean Dalton won't get a 4th straight start. Allen said Winston is not ready to play and noted the Saints have averaged 30 points per game in Dalton's 3 starts. How many wins you got, though? Andy's done a good job when he's in there, really. We've produced and scored some points. Let's get Jameis fully healthy and go from there. Of course, it's from the injuries. Troutman injured his ankle. Jarvis has ankle issues. Olave could return this week. He's not on the injury list, and they're saying that possibly could be something that happened. So we got a short week to go here for the black and gold heading into the Arizona matchup, and we'll have Alex Clancy chime in from the Locked In on Cardinals. That'll be Wednesday. So we're looking forward to him. Very smart dude, very passionate too. All right, so let's keep it going, family. We're going to keep it bucking and moving. Shout out to you, Michael. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, if we don't win Thursday, blow it all up. I'd rather admit a rebuild rather than this piss poor, almost good enough football. Thank you, Michael. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate that super chat. Shout out to Smallville, too. Says Q, kicking field goals will not win you many games, especially when you need the defense to step up and handle the business. So thank you guys for those super chats. All right, let's keep it a bucking and moving, fam, on this one. This is something that happened a couple of days ago as Saints running back Kamara faces a $10 million lawsuit on top of a felony charge. Now, this was brought out by the AP Press that a lawsuit filed this week against Saints running back Alvin Kamara seeks $10 million in damages and a jury trial in connection to a assault in Vegas during the Pro Bowl weekend. Kamara faces felony battery charge and alleged assault of Darnell Green Jr., who was leaving a club at the hotel and the casino at 6:30 a.m. February the 5th. Kansas City cornerback Chris Lemons has also been charged, as well as Darren Young and Percy Harris. Kamara played in the Pro Bowl before he was arrested. The NFL has not taken any action against Kamara or Lemons or whatever his name is, who are both playing this season. The lawsuit, which was filed Friday in Civil District Court of Orleans, includes stills from surveillance footage at the hotel and casino, as well as a photo of Green after the beating and details of the police report. Green was punched in the face, thumped on near an elevator, and was unconscious for over 2 minutes. The lawsuit claims Kamara deliberately used violent force against Green with the intent to inflict actual damage. Green's orbital lobe was broken. He had severe injuries to his shoulder, back, head, knees, face, neck, and the lawsuit said. Kamara's agent declined to comment on the lawsuit, but Green of Houston is representing by Busby. Remember, that's the dude that was involved with the numerous lawsuits dealing with Deshaun Watson's people that was suing him and the New Orleans-based firm of Gardner and Munez. So there you go. That's not letting you know we coming for $10 million for him and that felony charge for Alvin Kamara. So, you know, we'll see how that all shakes as we keep it twisting and keep it moving. All right, and a bit of other news for the Arizona contest coming up. Early word from Week 7, this is from Football Zebras, that the referee assigned to Thursday Night Football is this nincompoopish boob, Jerome Bogger. I call him Jerome Booger because this is the dude that had called that stupid-ass roughing the passer that was on Tom Brady. These are so, and you can see, I'm not being mean to these guys, but if you take a look at some of these referees and you look them really good in the face, some of them people is they're some of the foolish looking people you can ever possibly. I ain't trying to be mean, but my goodness, I can see how a lot of how these guys are pushed to be manipulated. Most of them, they slumped over because they don't even have a spine, man. They just go out there and just do whatever them people tell them to do. Just give me the check. I'll run them in the dust for you. Whatever you want, we'll do it. So Jerome Booger Bear will be your referee for this upcoming game against the Arizona Cardinals. So look out for Jerome Booger because he's going to be picking his damn nose all day as opposed to making the right calls. So be looking out for that. And remember, this is an away game in Arizona building. So you better watch out because, you know, some of these guys here, man, they don't be handling the business right. So this is your referee for Arizona, Jerome Booger Bear. All right, and also before I start answering some of the comments and start opening up the lines of communication, I wanted to show you this. This is from Fox NFL. This is from Dr. Matt Provencher's NFL bus rankings. And bus means banged up score. That's what the bus rankings mean through week 5. And this is the banged up score that he gave to all of the teams. And it shows he has a ranking system. He says the banged up score qualifies how injuries affect the overall team position and players' performance on a scale of 0 to 100. Now, if you take a look at some of the teams that are having a decent record, like the Philadelphia squad, they're dealing with the least amount of injuries. So they have access to their best players. If you go on all the way down, the Saints are ranked 30th on the bus ranking in terms of injuries, 61.5. Now, this is not a scientific situation. This is something a doctor came up with. But what is intriguing and interesting to see that he scored all of the teams in the NFL dealing with injuries. And if you look at most of the teams that's banged up, it's quite obvious. You can see it's a correlation between not having some of your best players versus having them. Some of the teams that have their players available, they're having some success. Now, it's not a perfect thing, but it does bear some research. All right, so anyway, let's keep it going and keeping it rolling, family. So, like I said, man, we got to watch out for a lot of this stuff. And you listen to what Dennis Allen's saying, you listen to what some of these players are saying, and it's concerning because it don't appear like they are fixated on nothing. Dennis Allen said, we will win this game. And one of the reporters should have asked him, do you guarantee that? Because if a coach talking about we will win this game, he said that, I just played it. He said, if we going to win this game, I'd ask him, you guaranteeing that? Let me see if you got some heart right there. Make your team back you up. You going to win it? We will win this game. All right, Dennis Allen. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Rich says, ask DA why wasn't TH or AK in the game at the end? That's something we still ain't getting no answers on. Our media friends didn't ask that question. And that was something very big that we had to talk about. Why wasn't Taysom Hill, who's a big part of the Saints offense right now, being that most of the impact playmakers are not there? Why wasn't him? Why wasn't Rashid Shaheed? Why wasn't some of the more impactful players involved in the cusp of the moment? Now, of course, Rashid, they probably say, well, he don't have enough experience, but his speed is an asset that you could have used in there. Why wasn't Taysom involved? You know, they don't have any answer. They tried to win the game with Andy Dalton, and Dalton didn't have it. But it takes a coach to be able to pay attention to what's going on. They'll look at the player and say, this guy don't have it. Let me get him up out of there and put somebody in there that can maybe contribute. You got to pay attention to these guys. You just can't let them look around. And Andy Dalton was, you know, he wasn't efficient at all. And you can see the statistics that I read off, about 53% or completion percentage. No, he wasn't crisp at all. He was throwing, all kind of stuff. But yeah, what needs to happen here? They need to figure it out. And they don't have a bunch of time to figure it out before Thursday's matchup. So anyway, shout out to the fam, man. Yeah, good question. Thank you for the super chat, Brother Rich. We have absolutely no idea why he wasn't in the game, and why would you not go to Taysom Hill when he got you 4 touchdowns last game, and it was his contribution is the reason why the Saints won against the Seattle matchup. You remove Taysom Hill, the Saints have 1 win on the season without Taysom Hill taking over the game against the Seahawks. Because remember, in that game, the Saints defense was surrendering explosive plays too. That's something they're not talking about. Even though the Saints were playing off of the wide receivers, they still was getting past them. How do you play off somebody? How do you play off wide receivers? How do you play off wide receivers and then they still get beyond you for the score? So I don't see that as a good game plan when they out there stinking it up. All right, CeeLo said, Big Q almost the time for the bags to come out. I'm not going to go that far, bro. It's still some time to see what happened, because listen, there's some positive here, like I talked about. When you say, well, Q, give me some light here. Give me some light. A lot of people say, what's the positive, Q? It looks all bad. Well, listen, I ain't going to sit up here and say it's a walk in the park on a beautiful day. I'm not going to tell you that. I got to keep it $1.15 with you. But what I will tell you is a positive is that the Saints offense scored, 29 points in the matchup? They scored 26. 20, and they got the special teams in position to kick the field goals, but they put up enough points to help out. Now, remember, the Saints have a backup-ass quarterback, all 3 of their wide receivers out. They still was able to offensively compete with Joey Burrow, and all his people was there. He had Mixon, he had Higgins, he had Chase, he had all of their star power. All of their offense was there. They were healthy, they were there. And they still competed with the Saints down the line. The issue is that's a positive. That's a positive because they weren't completely blown out in the game. The Saints actually had the game with 3 minutes and some change, or less than 4 minutes and some change remaining. So they had the game. They were getting, even though they weren't scoring touchdowns like they were supposed to, they were still at least getting in field goal range for Will Lutz to kick field goals. So that is a positive. As small as it is, it's still a positive. Now, what's another positive? The running attack. The running attack was a positive. Saints rushed over 30 plus times and put 228 yards on the Bengals defense. That's a positive, which means they were going in the right direction, using the running attack and powering and doing what they were supposed to do. They were mimicking some of the game plan from the Seattle Seahawks matchup. Well, what went wrong? The defense. The defense is a big problem. Really, the defense didn't do anything right, to be honest with you. The defense did get a couple of sacks in the game, but they were far and few in between. The defense didn't make it totally uncomfortable for Joey Burrow. They didn't harass him enough. When the Saints pressured them, they couldn't get to Joey Burrow and knock him down enough. And that offensive line for the Bengals is one of the worst lines in pro football. They spent the bulk of the game putting Joey Burrow in the shotgun. At one time that he was under center for a QB sneak and the Saints fell for it. I'm like, you see one time the man got under center and the Saints, they didn't even stop him from the QB sneak. The truth is, if the Bengals wanted to run the ball on the Saints defense and pile up over 100 yards, they would have got it because they was allowing over 5.5 yards a rush. And the only reason why the Bengals didn't get 100 yards rushing is because they stopped rushing at 14. They didn't feel like they need to do it. But the Saints was letting the people run at 5.4 yards per rush. They got one touchdown on the ground using the rushing attack. So they was getting what they wanted, whether it's passing or rushing, the bottom line. So which points the finger at the Saints defense. What needs to happen here? Because first and foremost, we finally get a turnover for the defense, especially the special teams did. The defense in itself is not getting enough pressures on these quarterbacks. We got 3 sacks yesterday, but not nearly enough pressure. What is going on with the Saints defensive line? Where guys like you got Marcus Davenport, who had a couple of plays where he was able to push guys down, all that kind of stuff. But the Saints are not doing nearly enough from the defensive standpoint to make it uncomfortable or harass the quarterback. They're not doing nearly enough. They're not. And then when teams choose to run on the Saints, they're having success. The game plan that they had was to play soft zone, it appeared, for much of the game and give up 5 yards and then rush up and tackle them. Because of the absence of Marshawn Lattimore, they had to play things differently. But it was a disaster. If you look at Joe Burrow's statistics on the day, he averaged 8.1 yards per throw. So they was moving the ball and getting chunk yardage. You look at his top wide receivers, they were averaging 8 yards per catch was T. Higgins. Boyd had 11 per catch, and Jamar Chase averaged 19 yards per catch. So they was getting where they wanted to. Even Hayden Hurst averaged almost 8 yards per catch. So he was throwing at 8 yards a clip and getting the ball there. And it was pretty much, when it comes to the second or third down, it was operating at a short, and they were able to convert. And much of this out of the shotgun is very fascinating. So the thing is, this has been a problem all season long, that the Saints defense has regressed mightily. They have regressed, especially the secondary. The secondary has had major issues. Marcus May finally comes back. He doesn't look nearly, and I know he's rusty after missing 3 games. You got Tyrann Mathieu, who's just not fitting in like I anticipated. I thought Tyrann Mathieu would look a lot better than what he looks like at some points at the game. He's almost invisible out there. He's second guessing himself. He's missing tackles. He's not where he's supposed to be on the field. It's like he's a shell of himself, and I don't know what to think about that. I don't know what to think about it at this juncture of time. When you're 6 games into the season, I'm like, damn, what the hell? What are you doing? So, I mean, it's really fascinating how you see things operating and twisting and turning, but the defense, you talking about the offense, at least the offense does have the excuse that we missing our starting quarterback and 3 of our starting wide receivers. At least they could say that. What's your problem, defense? What could you say? Well, we missing Laddie Daddy. That's why we stinking. No, it's not you stinking because you're missing Laddie Daddy. You stinking because you're fundamentally bad. The Saints defense that we thought this defense can be improved upon from last year has not living up to that billing. They have not. They have not living up to that billing. And it's not for the fact that they don't know what they're doing in terms of the scheme. Maybe that's a part of it, but they're breaking down fundamentally. They're breaking down like they're not missing tackles. They are slow to react to what they're seeing. It's just a calamity, a comedy, Three Stooges calamity of bullshit that's going on. Like when Andy, you got Burrow running around like he Randall Cunningham or somebody. The Saints diving at his feet and missing him and everything. I'm like, what is going on here? What kind of Three Stooges, Hardy type crap is going on right now? It's just fascinating. Now the question is, do they fix this in time for another scrambling ass? Boy, Jake, them people had Joey Burrow scrambling around on him like he was Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham. And then you get a real scrambling ass quarterback in Kyler Murray who will run circles around Joey Burrow. I can only imagine what he'll do just on his escapability and by extending plays outside of the pocket when the Saints defense are undisciplined. They break down, allow people to run up. I mean, it's just uncanny, unreal what I'm seeing from them people. Unreal. The defense is you put the tape on. I was able to look at some of the film, and I'm looking at the defense to myself, man, looking around saying, boy, looking at the calendar, saying, this is April. This got to be, somebody got to be pulling, this got to be April Fool's Day or something going on for the defense to be doing. I mean, what's going on here? It's crazy, man. Anyway, we got a short week coming. The Saints got a lot of work to do. And listen, their strong suit is not taken care of. These scrambling quarterbacks, they have a big issue against. You got Kyler Murray, who he'll be getting his best wide receiver back this week. The Saints had an opportunity to put the Bengals in the ground. They had the lead and fumbled and stumbled it away because of bad non-fundamental football. This is bad fundamental football that's attached to something as simple as tackling. You tackle dummies all damn day and practice, and these guys out there missing tackles, making poor angles. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm sorry. It's just bad football. Bad football, non-fundamental football. All right, so anyway, man, with that being said, that's my analysis on watching the tape and seeing it. It's a folly of errors at the wrong time, and the Saints defense is giving up explosive plays that are killing us. The last couple of games, they've given up explosive plays. Against Seattle, they did it 3 times that could have hurt us if it wasn't for Taysom Hill. Well, Taysom Hill wasn't in the last few minutes of the game to have an impact, because I promise you, if you'd have put Taysom Hill in for those 4 yards, he would have got those 4 yards where Andy Dalton, sorry ass, sitting up there throwing his arms up like he was a pass interference. It wasn't no pass interference. You know it wasn't no pass interference. You've been shitted with the ball all game long, throwing it around behind their backs and at their feet. But you put Taysom Hill in the game, I guarantee you get that 4. So we got to learn from that and see what these guys need to do. And Dennis Allen, man, you need some changing, bro. You got to change up some stuff. So anyway, let me go ahead and open the lines of communication for the Who Dat Nation. Let y'all get up in here and talk y'all stuff. Remember, you can join the stream, but please be brief because I won't get as many people as I possibly can on here. And so please, let's not clog up the lines. Let's say what you got to say. Let somebody else come, because the reality at the end of the day, they got a lot of people that want to be, that want to kind of, that want to, vent. And I'm going to let y'all vent, man. I done vented yesterday. I was hot and heated, man. I was hot and heated. Let me tell you something, boy. I was hot and heated. All right, but I'm good now. I'm good right now. First of all, I'd like to thank y'all, man. I'm going to send y'all my insurance information, because it was because of you guys. I was sitting on y'all couch with my feet up. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on y'all couch. I'm sitting up in y'all recliner with my feet up, talking to y'all, saying, man, did y'all see that, bro? Because y'all was therapy for me yesterday. So I'd like to thank y'all firsthand. Make sure I'll email you my insurance card, because y'all was my doctors yesterday, man. So shout out to you. All right, so with that being said, fam, let me go ahead and open up some of the lines of communication. If you want to get on the show, hit that link is pinned to the top of the chat. Remember, please feel free to allow the next person to get in and say what they got to say, and we'll try to keep it going. Pelican Nola says, BQ, the problem is DA calling plays with 2 defensive coordinators, so that puts you in 3 people got their hands in the defense. That's why it looks so bad. Yeah, I think he needs to get out of the way. I think the 2 coordinators is a problem, and I agree with you, because St. John Butler, I think, is saying the same thing. Thank you, Pelican Nola. St. John Butler says, we got 2 defensive coordinators and a defensive-minded head coach and still can't tackle. Yeah, this is uncharacteristic behavior, especially for Coach Rashard. I know Coach Rashard has got to actually be pissed off, because he's a guy that don't like this, man. This don't look good at all. All right, shout out to you. All right. Oh yeah, T Mama. Yeah, I was fish grease yesterday. Oh yeah, I was fish grease because that didn't make any type of sense. Don't buy Dell says where's Turner? Turner had chest issues, bro. He didn't play. Dark Crystal, what's up? Says question for Q. Will Sean Payton come back next season? No, Dark Crystal 75. I doubt Coach Payton comes back to the Saints, is what you're asking. I would say no to the Saints if that's your question, but does he come back to the NFL next year? I would say yes. Where? I mean, that's open to anybody's interpretation. Thank you for your question. All right, Ricardo says support big. Hit the like button. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Everybody in here, please feel free to hit the like button, family, as we get going. And I thank each and every last one of you for being in here as we get going. So let me pop somebody in here. We got Saints going. Saints going, what is it? 3-4 Thursday night. Okay, there you go. All right, welcome on in, bro. Welcome to the stream. How you doing?
What's up, Big Q? This your man, the OG himself.
Jerry, you changed your screen name.
That's me with the customized name, Big Q.
Okay. Oh,
and y'all see that Bitmoji of myself with the football and stiff arming somebody. I'll run that ass over.
Well, OG, what you think, bro? What's going on in your mind? What you think about it, OG?
Oh, bruh. First of all, how you doing, Big Q?
I'm fine, OG. I done dipped myself in some cool water, man, and I'm all right, bro. I was burning up yesterday. I was hot as the sun. But
yeah,
I
heard you was having rants and rages and stuff. So I say,
oh yeah,
maybe he'll calm down the next day.
Oh yeah, bro. I was hot and heated, bro. But go ahead, OG.
But now I was listening to your last comment about the 4th and 4 situation.
Yes, sir.
I explained that same thing to TJ Jones on his podcast earlier today. And I said, why? I said, okay, it's 4th and 4. Okay, we get it. Why you didn't use Taysom Hill or one of the running backs to run on 4th down and 4 to keep your drive going? Had that been me, Big Q, shit, I would have ran for 4 yards or more for a first down instead of trying to make a pass break. You could have did like at least a screen pass or something like that, like last week. You could have did at least a little screen pass for like 5 or 6 yards, and that would have kept your drive going, and we'd still be in the game. But it didn't work out the way it wanted, and that's why we ended up 2-4 as we speak instead of 3-3. Because that defense, Big Q, Lord have mercy, they need them come to Jesus moments, bruh. Seriously.
Right. Yes.
I mean, but I want to say this, Big Q, and shouts out to everybody in the Who That Nation, everybody in the chat. Just be thankful, Who That Nation, and praise the good Lord above that we are 2-4 and not 0-6. If we was 0-6, Who That Nation, it was going to be a lot of questions like we're doing right now. A lot of changes, a lot of questions. Anything in your mind, it was going to be a lot of changes immediately. So I'm okay with 2-4 and not being winless. Because if we was winless, oh my God, it would like we doing every week. It was going to be some more Q&A and everything. And hot as you were on Sunday, Big Q, I understand your frustration. Everybody was angry. But until that last play, let me take you back. Y'all probably remember 2013, the same week, week 6. Saints was going into Foxborough undefeated at 5-0, facing Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And we was nearly about this close to becoming 6-0 in that game. Because I remember I was sitting in the living room when that happened. And just like on Sunday, we gave them too much time to come back out there and let them take over. And that's when the impossible happened. We let Joe Burrow threw a pass to Jamar Chase. ran for the touchdown. That definitely put the dagger right there. All you had to do was continue to run the ball, milk some more of that clock, and the Saints would have been 3-3 right now, but it didn't happen. So we are what we are, but now that's out of the way. I'm ready for Thursday night. Hopefully we'll get things back on track. Hopefully, and I'm praying, Big Q, that things will get back to where they need to be. Because who that nation, we're better than this. We are much better than this. If we just get the big head from time to time, and that's why we're in the shape we're in right now, because we got the big head. Things not going the way it wanted, but hey, I'm gonna still ride with this team, win, lose, or draw. Well, I will forget to draw, because that's one thing the New Orleans Saints never have, Big Q. The only time when the Saints tie the game up is during the game and not the final score.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing we never ever had in New Orleans Saints history, was a tied game at the end of regulation or overtime. That's one thing. All we care about is wins and losses. The only time you care about ties is in the mid is during the game. That's about it. So be thankful to that nation that we don't have a tie.
All right. Appreciate you, OG. Thank you, bro, for your good knowledge and wisdom, bro. And yeah, we were both hot and heated, man. And yeah, I didn't calm down greatly, man. But like I said, man, you never know. I might need to keep the ice on chill right now, because Thursday not too far from now. So hopefully we can have a smoother performance, like you say, against the Arizona Cardinals. So thank you, OG. Appreciate you chiming in, my brother.
Anytime, Big Q. And once again, shouts out to everybody in the chat. Love you all so much. I mean, there's nothing y'all can do about it. Hey, don't lose hope. Don't lose faith on this team. We got to stay strong, because we are all family in this thing. We're all in this together. So we all family. We're gonna win together. We're gonna lose together. That's why the Who Dat Nation is a strong unit, the biggest, strongest unit on the face of this earth. So keep the faith, stay strong, don't lose hope. Let's get it. Let's get back on track. We're gonna be all right. So right now, I'm not thinking playoffs right now, Big Q. I just want to win a game. I'm like Jim Moore. Mm-hmm. Playoffs. I just want to win a game. Another game. That's all I'm focused on right now. We can worry about the playoffs like around the holiday season. Right now, I just want to win a game, just like everybody else.
All right. Thank you, OG. Appreciate you, bro. Much love, my brother. Thank you.
All right, Big Q. Take care. You be blessed. Y'all be blessed, y'all.
You too, bro. Peace.
All right, take care.
That's OG, man. The OG's always dropping some good science, man. I appreciate Brother Jerry so much, man. You're a good dude. And Brother Jerry be getting amped up too, so he understands how Brother Jerry. But he a balanced dude, man. OG be getting bucking up in that chat. I be seeing OG. OG be getting bucking up in that chat, man. OG be hot up in that chat, man, but he be cool, man. So it's a balance. So appreciate OG. All right, Dark Crystal says, hey Q, do you think Kyler Murray will slip by defense? Oh no. You know what, Dark Crystal, to be honest with you, I think that it's a possibility. We have difficulty covering these speedy quarterbacks. That was something that hunted us last year. It's something I think will hunt us this year. And we haven't seen like the Jalen Hurst and the Kyler Murray, these guys, the Lamar Jacksons. Oh my goodness. You let Joey Burrow scramble around for 19 yards, and then he was scrambling around back there, and the Saints fumbling and stumbling all over the place. I'm like, man, could you imagine what Kyler Murray does? And he's the fastest guy on the field, and the Saints can't keep containment. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. So they need to consistently, let's just stop these explosive plays. Let's just start with that. Tackle what you're supposed to. It's like, here we go. Remember we talked about last week, family, when we talked about, handing out cards in the locker room. Then you said on the front of the card, it says, thank you for being a Saint. Remember we talked about that? And then you open up the card and it says no turnovers. Remember that? Well, we're gonna give them some more cards, and we're gonna put it instead of no turnovers, we're gonna have on there make the damn tackle. So we're gonna put that on there. That's what you got to do. So every week is a different ailment. Last week it was no turnover, well, they didn't turn the ball over. This past week it was they couldn't tackle. So I'm like, goddamn, So it's just crazy, man. So we'll see what these guys do. But like Jerry said, astutely, that OG said, man, we got to make sure that we, oh my goodness, we got to handle the business, man. The Saints defense has to step up. The leaders have to step up, and they have to own it. They got to own this on the field. The Cams, the DeMarios, especially the Tyrann Matthews. They got to get up off there, and they got to handle the business. They got to take control and take responsibility on the field. That help the defense be smarter than this, man. You got to chastise guys like Bradley Roby when they out there spinning off of guys missing tackles, tackling their ankles and stuff. You got to discipline guys. You got to tell them, bro, you got to get your head in the game. And if Dennis Allen's seeing this guy out here missing tackles, you got to pull him up out of there. Because really Marshawn is our lockdown guy. Love him. I love Adebo. But one of the real reasons why I want Laddie Daddy outside of his lockdown abilities is to keep so that we can have Adebo in there so we can suppress and keep Bradley Roby to a nickel position because he ain't good enough to play a 2. I mean, dude, that was like isolated. He's been missing tackles all season long if you think about it. So it's just not a good look. All right, fam. So let's keep it going, man. If y'all want to pop in the chat, feel free to hit the link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. We opening the phone lines. It's your opportunity to vent and get it off your mind. We're going to bring in Brother JT. We got King C3 and Straight Bowman. Y'all can get in line by hitting that link. Here we go. All right, JT, what's happening, brother? Welcome to the stream. Good to hear from you, bro.
Hey, what's up with you, Q? It's been a while, man.
Yes, sir, it has, my man. How you been, bro?
Man, I've been all right. I've been having some, little tragedies, but we overcome all of that in life. That's all a part of life right now.
Yes, sir.
But I don't want to bore you with that right now. I always come with some facts, so I want everybody to understand this, what I'm about to tell them. Now, right now, the NFL, I said this to you about 2-3 years ago, Q. I said the NFL is going to implode soon. And I'm saying this because of what's going on, like what you were talking about the other day with the owners and how all these billionaires are covering up all this stuff, but and nothing happens to them. All right. Now, I said that to say this. The NFL have this stuff yearly, to me, set up to just the way they want it to be. Now, I'm looking at my team. I picked my team and I said the New Orleans Saints. What we have, what's going on with them? How could a coach come out of with a great team and just jump ship and leave if he didn't have a better deal somewhere else? And I'm saying that I knew Sean Payton was in that deal with Miami. He would have been right here coaching his team if there wasn't no tampering. Now, Sean Payton, he left and went over there. I know this is a long story, but I'm going to cut it short. It's all a setup to everything. It's playing with people's feelings, playing with people's money. And I say just like you said, if we stop spending money there, they won't have a team. They won't have anything in the Superdome or no stadium. We paying them, but we not paying for this product that's out here with friendship at coaching and holding on to a offensive coordinator who's going to be gone when Sean Payton goes where he's gone. A team that has 2 defensive coordinators and the defense and 1 defensive head coach. I wouldn't know who to listen to either. I mean, 3 different people with 3 different ways of coaching. I wouldn't know who to listen to. I wouldn't, if I had to go sack somebody, I wouldn't know whether just to sack him or pass him up. I'm going to tell you the truth. I want to know another team that's going to have 2 and 3 defensive coordinators. I mean, come on, man. I mean, let's take 3 phases of the game. Let's go into that. 3 phases of the game. All 3 phases, to me, been messing up each game that we could have won. If it's not one phase, it's the other. Yesterday, the guy, 26 yards. Put my little nephew out there, Q. He can kick farther than 26 yards. If that was, I'm not going to sit here and look at this and say, oh man, how did that happen? I wonder. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say this. Who paid that kicker off to do that and at that time of the game? He didn't do it in none of the rest of the games. You come in this game because you knew we had the time up there and that phone call was made. And that guy went out there and kicks 26 yards. Now, a long time ago, years ago, I'm 64 years old. Years ago, if a guy kicks 26 yards, the coach going to put him on the street the next day. He going to be working in a supermarket. You know what I'm saying? If a guy running the ball, drop the ball too many times, a la Mark Ingram, it too many times, then you what? Years ago, what they used to do to him? Put him on the street. So all this stuff is all fixed and set up. I don't want to mess with people's feelings about anything, but JT only give y'all how he feel and how he thinks. Now, I don't want anybody to be angry at me, but Thursday night, don't be shocked and soft and say, oh, they could have did this or they could have did that. It's already made and cut in stone. If Arizona have anything to play for, like they would say the Saints have something to play for, but the Saints, Arizona will win. Arizona still has their coach. They have their quarterback. It's a quarterback-driven league, supposedly. They want us to think that narrative, too. They always give us new things every year. It's a quarterback-driven league, but you need a running back. It's not that. Everything's already set up. But you look at the simple things, because they have a lot of things that go on in the course of a game. Look at the small things, like a 26-yard kick. Here go another thing. This all happened in just these few minutes. Here's another thing. You have the ball last with timeouts, and you can't run 2 minutes and something off the clock. How is that possible? How is that possible? You know Taysom Hill been running all through people and over people, but you take him out? You ain't playing with my understanding, Q. Q, you not doing this to me. You're not doing this to me. Now, I watch my team. I'ma watch him. But you not playing with me. I see through what y'all doing out here. And everybody might think, there's nothing wrong with my mental state, Q. Nothing. I'm only stating the facts. NFL, y'all better keep watching as long as you could. I think they're gonna explode soon. Some stuff gonna go on. Remember JT saying this again. I said it 2-3 years ago, and it's coming to fruition right now. Everything about each billionaire got dirt on them out there. And boy, if that comes out, like this guy said, I ain't gonna talk too long because I like listening to other people, but I like to listen and hear that people talking straight. But when everything come out, Q, the NFL, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna tell my grandkids and everybody, I told y'all that. We sit here and watch them every day, and look what's coming out. The referees being paid. This one's going on. These contracts of these players. Now remember, that's another thing. And we don't know what's written inside of the contracts. Inside of the contracts could be written up for you this here for 12 games, 14 games, but with no practices, no this or no that. If I'm injured, I'm out for this. All kind of stuff is written up in them contracts. But I can tell you one thing: there's nowhere in the world how this look right in our face. How all of your starting wide receivers are out. How that happened? You just played 6 games. You ain't practiced enough. You ain't practicing training camp enough to be hurt right now. So how is that possible? You're supposed to practice the way you play, right? If you practice the way you play, you shouldn't be hurt. So why are you hurt now? Deep on the defense. That's supposed to be the top defense going right now. I mean, Marcus Davenport and everybody's saying, oh, he's this, he's that. I didn't ever say that, Q. I say he's a good player. He's not a great player. He's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You ask me, would you trade Marcus Davenport? Yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Why would you trade it? Why would I trade? Because I would get something else from that, somebody that's hungry enough that want to play. Get a young person. Why every time a free agent, you gotta find him and they hustling out there running like and playing, doing all the things that you look for, but they're not a number one pick. So I need somebody to understand, make me understand that. Now, I ain't going to keep you too long, Q. I got a lot, man. I can go rambling, bro. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to just say, they not fooling me, Q. They're not fooling me. And I don't think they fooling you either, Q. I've been watching you too long, and I've been listening to you. Man, hey, bro, I know they got TJ Jones, everybody. I love all them brothers. My Nola bros, I love them all. But Q, I'm going to tell you something, man. You got something, you got a gift, okay? You got a gift with you. And it's going to lead you to that rock. It's going to lead you to that top. And you going somewhere. You going someplace. And I told you, I'm going to call you up when you're in that big old building. And I'm going to tell you, Q, don't play with me, Q. Don't play with me. I know what you're doing. You making it. You making it. So keep it going, bro. Keep it going. Keep it going. I'm right behind you, Q. 150%.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, brother JT. Much love to you, my brother. Thank you for chiming in.
You're
Always
right.
good to hear from you, bro.
Oh, yeah. Same here, Q. Back at you.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Oh, yeah.
That's brother JT spitting them facts, man, dropping it. Yeah, brother JT, I don't know if most of the family members didn't hear from the TSC Unleashed, which we cover stories like that. It was a phenomenal story that broke. And then it covered it up. We haven't heard from it, and then they kind of let it out and then they buried it like within 2 days. Usually a really fireball of a story like that kind of lingers for about a week or two, but it was more impressive than the foolishness with that idiot Kanye talking about. But it's just it was just the fact that Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington Commander team, knows that he's facing the owners voting him out because I guess, for several different reasons, to be honest with you. And he knows that. So what he did was he hired investigators to spy on all the owners and the commissioner to kind of get ready for whatever's coming. So he gathered something. Then he came out later and said that he didn't do it. I covered all that, man, on the last TSC Unleashed. So if y'all want to check it out, feel free to look in the community section. I think I pinned it there. And then you can also subscribe to the TSC Unleashed channel because I'm doing a TSC Leash on the Sports Coma channel, but ultimately they'll be moved and I'm going to start doing it on that channel. So if you want to hear more content like that, feel free to go over there to the TSC Unleashed. It's in the community section of this platform. So it was a very interesting story. I covered it, man. So it was good grief. All right. So once again, shout out to you, brother JT. Thank you. King C3, welcome to the stream, bro. How you doing?
What's up, Q? What's going on? What, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, cool, man. Just want to say, man, I really feel like the Saints. It's looking like we gonna be a borderline wild card. Luckily for us, our division is like the NFC East of last year, man. It's everybody looking average or above or below average in this division right now. Got the Falcons leading the division with 3-3 record right now, so we still have a chance. How to just keep our heads up high.
Right.
And then in regards to the play, man, defensive tackles. I mean, the secondary whole team got to start playing better. I mean, how people want to miss that sack on Burrow back? They should have had him back there. Him and them are our best tacklers right now. They should have had him. They didn't. like man JC was saying, man, I know that NFL is in collusion, man. It's all a scheme. Look at Vegas, man. These bets, it's all about the money for the NFL right now. So we know what's on the up and up, what's really going on, you know.
Yeah, it looked kind of suspect, man. But I alluded to that. I said I warned the family members when the season started. I told them, I said, family, listen, I'm not trying to, kind of not let you know this, but with all these betting apps, I said, get ready for some of the worst. And I told the family members, I said, get ready for some of the worst football that you can possibly imagine. You thinking what they were doing in the past was bad. Wait till you get a load of this, and then you see it now. And I warned them before the season started. I told them, I said, you're going to see some stuff. Some people can't even get a rough in the passer right. They can't. And that's like, okay, they're buffoons. No, that's not it, fam. Because the referees themselves, they don't have a lot of leeway in making these calls. We can see off top that they used to hide from the fact that the referees used to be guys that will make the calls on the field. But now that the game is making more money, they can't possibly leave the game in the hands of part-time employees. So you see the manipulation through the calls. Like the guy goes and look at the replay, and he has the headset with a mic appendage to it, and he's sitting up there looking out. You don't need a mic appendage on that headset to listen to the sound. But when you watch the replay, he's talking. Who are you communicating with? Who are you talking to? So that's just showing you they don't even hide that no more. They used to hide that and make it pretend like they were making the calls on the field. So now that you know that it's a certain amount of manipulation. Not everything's manipulated. How do you know this? Well, there's tons of books on this stuff. Guys that were inside that, they wrote books. There's tons of books and stuff on what goes on there and how this, that, and the third happens. And I talked about it on TSC Unleashed on prior shows when I did a show basically breaking down how certain families that have teams are mob connected, like the Bidwells of Arizona, we about to get ready to play, the Rooneys up in Steelerland, and several other people, even Meacham, who was the guy that got the team down here, was told to get the team by Carlos Marcello, who used to be the boss of all bosses for the syndicate. All this is stuff that you can go and look up, and you do your research, you can uncover that. But that's why always one of my biggest things is if you listen to the Coma, and I call it the Great Saint Think Tank, because I want us to enjoy the sport and enjoy the entertainment and enjoy the things around us, but don't suspend reality to do it. That's my big thing. Do not suspend reality to enjoy this stuff. Don't do it, because you can have it the way you want to, but it's up to you to get it where you want to. Because if you close your eyes and let them do it, they're going to just keep destroying it and getting worse. So when you see it, call it out. And that's what I do. So hopefully we get enough guys to come together to do that. So That's my stance on it.
Right. You said the right key word, right? That entertainment. At the end of the day, this is all just entertainment for us. You know, we love football, we love our Saints, but at the end of the day, we can't take everything to heart with this. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it all goes. So you said the key thing right there.
Right. But listen, bro, thank you for chiming in, bro. And appreciate you chiming in, bro. Matter of fact, make sure you chime in, man. Make sure you chime in more, my friend. Appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. King C3, shout out. And who that? All right. Appreciate the brother chiming in. Much love to the fam, man. Let's keep it bucking and going. Brother Gundam, I see you on there, bro. Look like you can't get in, bro. It's saying that your device is not connected properly. So see if you can kind of pop out and pop in. But what I realized too, we're using this software here is that you do better to not operating on Wi-Fi, like using your house Wi-Fi. Use the device the internet or signal from your device and not Wi-Fi. It works that way. It works better that way. You see, I don't know what that is. They're gonna have to get a hold to that and fix that. So try that, my brother, and then pop back. Boom, and shout out to you, brother. Welcome in.
Yeah, man. I'm back again. I got kicked out because of that too, man. I had to get off my Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead. Yep. That's what happened to me. But bruh, oh my God. Look, I'm gonna say it like this, because man, we already down and out. Just like Jerry said, we ain't 0-6, but you know what I'm saying? 2-4 still look real bad to me though. And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. I'm gonna have them boys out in the back waiting for Dennis Allen if we don't win this game. I'm dead serious. We gonna jump that man. We are gonna jump that man. I'm tired of you playing so conservative. I'm tired of you kicking these 63-yard field goals. I'm tired of all of these defensive players hitting these ankles instead of taking these tackles. You know what I'm saying? What else am I tired of? I'm tired of people collecting these checks. You know, what else am I tired of? Oh yeah, I'm tired of looking like we playing with two left feet. You know, we out here down bad. We looking real bad, man. And look, I hope the best thing to come from us, if we lose, I hope they fire that man on the spot. I'm not playing. I hope they boot him. I hope the boot give him the boot. You hear me? I'm really hoping so. Because this don't make no sense. I ain't never seen in 1 week span the offense looking trash and the defense looking strong, and then the offense kind of click and get it back together, and then the defense fall off. Man, you are not him. You are not Sean Payton. You can't sit up there and try and run the defensive coordinator job that's already a defensive coordinator for the team and then still try and be head coach for the team. Let that man do his job and you focus on being a better coach. With your Beyonce walk, man. I'm tired of the dude, man. I'm so sick and tired of that dude. Man, like, hey, it's one good thing TJ did bring up today. Maybe it wasn't the Raiders that was the problem. It was him. Like I said, look, the proof is in the pudding, man. And the pudding tastes real nasty, bitter. And we gotta get rid of him. We gotta get rid of him. I'm tired of him. He ain't no risk player. He ain't no man. He ain't no roughneck. He ain't what we need, bro. We out here playing pillow soft, and they out there having pillow fights on the field. That's what it is right now. And I'm not feeling it. I'm not jacking it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care if we got the bets going on or whatever. I don't even mind taking losses. But we taking losses we are in the thick of things and we look retarded. We look retarded for no reason. People out there just collecting checks and going home. That's exactly what's happening, man. That is exactly what's happening. And bro, to be honest with you, if I was them, I'd collect checks too. I'm like, there's no motivation, nobody to sit up there to boost the morale of the team. Ain't no consequences, and everybody want to clean up. How much cleaning you gonna do, man? How much? And now we got two bad quarterbacks with bad backs. What is that? Put them both together and make sure maybe they have a good back, and maybe we can have one good game. You know, this is trash. Our stats is horrible. And then, like I said, you got the dude ran. Burrow won the game with shotgun only, bro. In less plays. What was that? We knew what he was doing, and we got duped again. We got duped again. Like, yeah, hang your head, Big Q, because they trash right now. Play calling trash. The head coach is trash. Tyrann Mathieu for thinking that they tackle good was trash. Everybody, man, I'm about to go ahead and just take out all the trash right now, bro. If we lose this game, we need to go ahead and throw a fire party. We need to fire everybody around. We need to start with Dennis Allen and then go straight down, trickle down. Cause everybody dumpster juice right now. Everybody. I don't see nobody on the sidelines boosting no morale. Nobody up in there hyping them up. They don't even know what they're playing for. They just showing up to be there. They just, hey man, I'm just here so I won't get fined. That's exactly what they own, bro. That's exactly what they own. But that's my short and sweet analysis, man. I'm gone. You already know I stay fired up, Big Q. You know. But yeah, bro, I had to get mine off.
Well, the booming, bro. Once again, you bring the booming commentary, bro. I appreciate you chiming in. Passionate commentary, bro. Thank you as always, my friend. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Who that?
That's my brother Booming, man, chilling out there on the West Coast. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to brother Rich. He says, "Q, we got to start looking at Mickey Loomis also." Hold on there. Hold on, Rich. Hold on. What have I got to do with it? Hold on now. You guys are going too far. Now, listen, I ain't setting my ass up here. Now, listen, I don't like the curse. I don't like the curse. But see, you guys are starting to get me hot and heated over here. Let me tell you something here. Let me tell you. Now, let me tell you something. You're going too far, Rich. Let me tell you something. What the hell have I got to do with it? Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, I ain't gonna tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was just sitting here listening, and then somebody had to throw me in there. What the hell have I got to do with it? I only tell you something, man. Listen, you want a problem, man. Let me tell you something. I tell them like I tell everybody. You need to talk to Dennis. That's who you need to talk to. I talk to Dennis. He's the head coach. I'm just the general manager. Hold on now. Listen. I'm a Christian, but listen, you got me on. I'm out here. I gotta say some prayers now because I was cussing. I don't usually curse. Let me get out of here. All right. Okay. I'm sorry, Mickey. Mickey, all up turned up. Y'all got Mickey turned up. Thank you, Rich. Rich got Mickey. He said you got to look at Mickey also. Boy, Mickey said, hold on for a second, Q. Oh, hold on here. Stop the presses. Stop the press. What you talking about? Look at me. Listen, I did the best I could do. Sean Payton walked up to us and he told us, Q, he said, listen, I don't want to, listen, my jaws hurt. Said something about his jaws. I thought, it was talking about a movie or something. He said, listen, let me tell you something. I'm thinking about quitting, Mickey. And I was like, well, what you talking about? I did the best that I can do. I went on a fake, coach search. I did it. I did everything I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't come at me because I'll be ready for you, Bucko. Don't come. I'll be ready. All right, Mickey, calm down, bro. You don't have to do all that. Mickey, calm down. Listen, let me tell you something. I ain't come here for that. I'm just listening. I'm minding my own business, running a team, and then somebody's telling me that they're going to come for me. Well, come on with it. Well, Mickey, hold on, bro. Calm down. God damn it, Mickey. Mickey said, come on with it, God damn it. Mickey, put the boxing gloves down, Mickey. People got they can make their own calls. They got their own opinion, Mickey. Don't just, well, God damn it. You tell them, come on for me. Come. All right, Mickey, come on, Mickey. Go ahead on, bro. All right, Mickey done got all bucked up there. Oh, yes, Carl. He said Bucko. Yeah, well, let me tell you something, Bucko. You come on. You about to say, come on, Cletus. All right, so look, man, let me tell you something, man. That's thank you, Rich, for the shout out to you, bro. I threw a little levity in there, family. That's what we need, a little levity, man. We need a little levity. All right, so fam, anyway, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. If you want to get in an opportunity to get on tonight's stream, please feel free to hit the link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. It'll get you in, and you can chime in like the rest of the great calls. We had some really great calls, by the way. JT, Boomin, King C3, and OG. We have some really great callers tonight. So if you want to join the long line, y'all feel free to join the line. We just had Mickey jumped in. Mickey got buck. He upset. Mickey upset. Everybody upset. So, I mean, just come on in, fam, and chilling. We got Michael up next. We got J Live 504 as well. So we got you. So you want to get Mickey old school family. You all know. Yeah. Well, listen, man. I say Bucko, man. I'm going to tell you something here, Bucko. You want to come for me? Come on. Listen, I haven't been the general manager of this team for 20 years. You think I'm a sucker? Let me tell you something. You think, I might have time. I got to wind up every now and again. But let me tell you something. I'm like an old jalopy. Once I get going, I'm on you. I'm gonna tell you something. I might need to turn me on for 15 minutes before you pull me out the garage. But listen, once I get going, I'm on you. Okay, Mickey, settle down. Mickey, what's going on here? Mickey all bucking everything. All right. All right. Rich says Mickey let CJ walk. Wouldn't sign Quine back. Rich is going off on Mickey. Hold on. Q, listen, let me read this one. Oh, okay, hold on now. Mickey, calm down. You gonna calm down when you read it? Yeah, I'm gonna calm down. All right, I'll promise you. I'm gonna leave after this. I got blood pressure pills to take. Let me tell you something. I ain't come here to get riled up like this. All right, well, let me read this. All right, Rich Rolls. All right, thank you for your $5. Okay. Mickey let CJ walk. Well, that's not true. That's not true. We tried to sign that guy. He wanted, we tried. You know, we were $4 million apart. I didn't let him walk. You know, it was a talk to Dennis. Dennis said, look, do you want the guy? Even like, well, I don't pay for that much for him. You know, I was like at first, man, let's just take whatever we want to get for Bradley Roby, get rid of Roby and just give that money to CJ. But Dennis was like, no, I'm not going to give him that. So let's trade him. I was like, okay. You know, it's his team. You know, I ain't let him walk. I didn't let him walk. Okay. I wouldn't walk. He didn't sign Quan back. Quan, hold on. Which one? Which Quan? Is it Quan? Which one? You talking about Quan Alexander? Oh my God. Oh Lord. I can't read this whole thing. It's just I just can't do it. That's wrong. It's all wrong. It says in the swag. What is swag? What are you talking about? What the hell is swag? I don't know what you're talking about now. All right, man, I'm out of here. All right, Mickey, have a good day, bro. Go ahead on, get you some sleep. Mickey, he done got all mad. Mickey don't know what swag is. He don't know nothing, man. Rich says Mickey let CJ walk, wouldn't sign Quan back for half the price. That was the team swag. Now look at the team they're playing for. Yeah, indeed, bro. It's a rough deal, man. I know, fam. Okay, Gundam, I'm sorry about that, bro. Keep trying, bro. You might be able to get in that thing, man. Shout out. All right, so let's get Michael in, man. Shout out to Michael, man. And we got J Live after him. Michael, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, so where should I start? Oh, by the way, I was at the game yesterday. It was a good experience till it wasn't. I don't know. Like dude, and the Saints, there's something wrong. I said if we were able to win the game, we wouldn't need to hit the panic button. I'm hitting the panic button now. Like right now. Like, dude, that was unacceptable. Like, dude, every single time we got field goals, they got touchdowns. Like, dude, you know that the end zone didn't just disappear after our second touchdown. You know the end zone was right there. And every time that we looked like we were going to score a touchdown, and I got my hopes up. Wow, it's showing in the game right now. I feel stupid saying this. But, dude, like the end zone, it's right there. Do not disappear, dude. Like, dude, just walk into the freaking end zone. It's right there. The Bengals can do it. Why can't y'all? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because our offense, we barely had anybody. But when we were in the freaking red zone, what did we do instead of scoring a touchdown? No, we just kicked a dang field goal. Because that's all we're good for yesterday. Like, dude, we forced one turnover. And we had no turnovers. That was good, except every single time that we got the ball back after they didn't score a touchdown, it either resulted in two things: a punt or a field goal. A freaking field goal or a punt. That was the best thing after we got the ball back, dude. That's unacceptable, dude. That is unfreaking acceptable. Like, dude, I wasted all my money to go to that slop fest, dude. Just act like the end zone's not there. Like, dude, it was big. How could you not see it, dude? And Will Lutz was the only person who came to play. And I know Tre'Quan Smith played better, and I know a lot of people play better, like Rashid Shaheed. But, dude, our defense didn't get, if our defense, it was rare for them to get. Like, dude, Joe Burrow was clean the entire game. And how do you let Jamar Chase run that big, dude? Like, it's unacceptable. That was embarrassing, dude. If we lose Thursday night to the freaking Arizona Cardinals, who just got Robbie Anderson, I am going to lose my mind if I still have it. I'm surprised it didn't just fly out my mouth, dude. Like, there's no way we lost to the Bengals. The Bengals, dude. I know they're coming off of a Super Bowl, but they scored 17 points against the Ravens on Sunday Night Football. 17. That's unacceptable, dude. Our defense made them look like the damn Chiefs out there. What are you doing, man? Get us, dude. You had 3 sacks the entire game behind a Bengals O-line. That was cramped up, dude. There's no way you only get 3 sacks on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. If he's not one of the, like, he has to be one of the most quarterbacks getting sacked if he's not number one. Like, dude, and our D line, Cam Jordan, where are you at, bro? I was watching you, and you did, and I don't even know if you got one of those 3 sacks. I don't even know. I know Lamar Davis did something, and all I know is that the defense was not relevant, dude. Like, dude, this was one of the top defenses last year, and now all of a sudden they forgot how to play football. I don't understand. Because Sean Payton left, means the defense left too. I know he didn't have a lot more, but our defense still. Like, we got Tyrann Mathieu thinking that was gonna be an upgrade. Somehow it might make our team worse. I don't know how that's possible. Then we trade CJ Johnson for a bag of Cheetos. Like, dude, that was stupid, dude. That was freaking stupid. I don't understand what's wrong with y'all, dude. You just let Sean Payton, can you please come back? Because Dennis Allen sucks, dude. Pete Carmichael, where are you at, bro? Do I need a riot for you to get out of office, dude? You are bad. I thought you were good, but you proved me wrong every week, dude. Why? Every single fourth quarter, you'll want to show up. And sometimes we lose those games still. We're the reverse Falcons, dude. The Falcons show up in the first half. We barely show up at all. We show up in the last 6 minutes of every single game. He did that for the first 15, then the second 15. He did that for 3 hours straight. Can you do it? Or are you just blind where you can't see the damn end zone? Like, that's unacceptable of you. That's unacceptable. The end zone's right there, and all you see is the goalpost. Wow, the kick is good. No one cares. The only field goal I want to see is the PAT. I want Will Levis to come after a dang touchdown. What is wrong with you? Isn't that hard to score a touchdown in the NFL, dude? The Bengals, I know the Bengals didn't even have an elite defense, man. They had Eli Apple, and we got scoring them, dude. Like, what's going on with you? That's not the defense from last year. Somehow the offense is better than you somehow. I don't know how that's possible. We got Andy Dalton, a quarterback. How is that possible? And honestly, like, dude, James Winston wasn't even that good. What is wrong with you? I was hyping you up all year just so you can do this stupid stuff to me, dude. You got me high. I literally just hurt myself from banging down so much. Do. That's all I gotta say. All I gotta say is that this team is sorry every single week, dude. Taysom Hill was our best player. Taysom Hill, and that's Samsung. That's all I gotta say, dude.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you, and who that to you, brother?
Who that?
All right, now. All right, we got J Live 504 chiming in next. J Live, welcome to the show.
What's happening, Q, man?
What's happening, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Mike, a hard act to follow, bro.
Hey, bro, I was about to say, man, that's a tough cat to follow right there. That was pure passion and frustration right there, bro. And I did say,
Mike,
let him come on out and vent. So there you go.
Yeah, bro. Look, I've been saying it, and you know what? I don't even know why I'm surprised, bro. First thing in the offseason, I'm like, all right, Marcus Williams walking. All right, that's a problem. Malcolm Jenkins retiring. I'm like, all right, not that big of a deal. We can find someone that can play. But when they let Marcus Williams walk, I sat there and I started talking to my Saints family, talking to everybody, like, hey, bro, that's a problem. Like, I know y'all don't like Marcus Williams because he say he got tackling issues, but Marcus Williams is the reason that we're able to be so aggressive. Because we got a guy that can play sideline to sideline. We can trust him. We don't have no one we can trust. I didn't know too much about Tyrann Mathieu, bro. I was relying on the Who That Nation. Yeah, he good. I never really followed them. I just watched the Saints, not really, college football. But I knew about him, kept, always rooted for him. But man, he ain't what that is. Honestly, he reminds me of Jarvis Burton. Everybody keep looking at me weird for saying that, Q. He reminds me of Jarvis Burton. Got the best seat in the house. Got the best seat in the house. The boy don't do nothing.
No,
he get pushed around, bro. Honey badger. Yeah, he look like a little honey badger. Small.
So just say, hold on, J-Live, bro. You saying that the honey badger remind you of Jarius Bird?
Perfect. Best seat. Not even Jarvis Burrow got 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Missed me on that little interception. He got that little gimme pick. Like, bro, come on, man. Like, he is not what that is, and he's hurting us. Our secondary sucks. That's why that's the problem with us. Our safety play. Now, Marcus May he's a good player. You know, he just needs to be out there. Now I will say he's an upgrade to what we had with Malcolm Jenkins, bro. But we lost big when we let go of Williams. And then I was asking my Saints family, hey, bro, Chauncey Gardner leaving, bro. Man, we got this. You know, we got Smoke Monday. We got Alante Taylor. You know, both of them hurt. Both of the plans. See, those 2 players was the plan of letting CJ go. At first, when they was thinking about in the offseason to having those talks, they were like, man, we got Smoke Monday. Man, we got Alante Taylor. We can make them guys work. Smoke Monday go down. Alante Taylor on IR now. And then you let the heart and soul. And they say it's DeMario Davis, but no. The one that brought the 2 players that brought that fire was Quan and CJ. Those were the 2 players that brought that fire. If any one of them were on the field, you got that energy. If both of them wasn't on the field, that defense was lethargic. Played with no passion, no energy. See, when you let your energy go, some players are bigger than just making a play here or making an interception there against Tom Brady. That boy brought energy and passion to our defense, and it's gone. We ain't saw it not one time this year. Not once. It is gone. No one wanted to hear me, Q. I was up there preaching to him, bro. I was like, hey, bro, I think we should get Quan. Peanuts on the dollar anyway. I think we should get Quan. He bring the energy. Oh, no, we got Warner. Warner good. And he's playing way above what I thought he would do. I love him. He don't bring that energy. He don't got the defense going, getting ready to knock somebody's head off. He not in the defensive mind. It's just not the same, bro. We ain't the same team. Our secondary is if they don't have Lattimore, and everything has to go perfect. Everybody has to be healthy for us to even kind of get a glimpse of what we had last year. But we're just a shell of a team. And then my last point, bro. I don't know I'm ranting, but I'm so tired of the Saints, bro. I thought they finally got it together. I see him bring in Rashid. They using him in offense. I'm like, okay, finally. They see a guy that got potential and actually going to give him some plays. We ran 2 plays, went to that boy 2 times on offense. That little end around run that we scored on, we should at least have went to that play again, bro. At least one more time.
Well, it was, to be honest with you, bro, remember that it was actually the throw that it was a throw by Andy Dalton that threw outside versus throwing inside that missed Rashid Shaheed for what could have been a touchdown.
Right.
He missed on him. He also missed another touchdown. He tried to throw in the first half too. He threw it too low.
Yeah, but not one touch, not even one target in the second half, bro. We didn't go to that dude. Like, you saw the potential. Yeah. You saw what he was bringing to the table.
Yeah.
And we didn't even put him in there, bro. I mean, it's just disappointing this year. And Vegas was right. Look, Saints fans, stop thinking we're gonna get it together. We're not. Trust your eyes. What you see is what you got right now. You got a middle of the pack. We might win 50-50, might be 8-9 at the end of the year. That's who this team is. They're not going to get it together, bro. Trust your eyes, bro. Like, that's why I'm at with it right now. I'm trusting my eyes. Like, we're going to have to make some tough decisions in the offseason. You got some high-dollar players, bro, that can't stay healthy. We rebuilding because we need to get that in order. All our good players are old. They're about to retire. This team is about to change totally, bro. We got to find we probably gonna have to find a new head coach. And look, bro, I don't even talk like this, Q, bro. But I saw this movie before, bro. I know how it ends. I know how it ends, bro. Like, even when Jameis come back, it's gonna be that same lethargic offense, bro. It moving slow, going quarters, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 quarters without scoring. Slow burn, big shot play here. Oh, we down. Jameis going ham, throwing 13 times for over 30 plus yards. You see a pass. You see how that goes. And that's what it's going to be, bro. There's no one to control him. There's no leadership in the room. Pete Carmichael didn't even want the job. I'll never forget that. He didn't even want the job. So why are we sitting up here wanting him to be an alpha male? Alpha would have took that chance easy. He's not an alpha. He's a sideline guy. He's a role player. Not an OC. Not a leader amongst men. That's where I'm at, bro.
All right.
Like,
well, go ahead, bro. You was about to say something else?
No, I was just gonna say I appreciate your platform, bro. I wish you would have came on. How come you never come on after the game? I know you do your posts, but a little bit later on at night. That's when we be needing you, bro. At nighttime. At nighttime, it'd be rough for you on a Sunday like that, but you'd be like, man.
Well, no, I'm we do the watch parties.
Yes, I know.
And then right immediately after the watch party, I do a post game right after the watch party. It kind of blends right on in, and then I'll play the interviews. We get some analysis, and depending on how early the game ends, I might open up the phone lines, or I just might open up the phone lines that next Monday. So I mean, yeah, I'll usually be there, but sometimes you look at the game, like the last game, it was really a tough one because that was one that they should have won. It was really not a difficult game plan. And just like the brother said, man, Boomin said, he said it perfectly, man. I was calling the game. I called it the infinite shotgun because they operated the offense out of the shotgun all game long. And it's not a lot. You got to understand how vanilla that is. You operating out of the shotgun. You can run some plays, but you don't have access to like a full. I mean, you can't tell me this. The Cincinnati Bengals offense has a lot of plays in terms of operating out of that shotgun. You still missing the power I formation. You got all this other stuff going on. Them people operated out of a shotgun the majority of the game, and the Saints simply could not capitalize on it. They got 3 sacks, not a turnover that happened on special teams. But in the end, the Saints defense is dealing with a lot, man. I seriously, Marcus May just made it back after being out 3 games.
Right.
The communication is not there. Pete Carroll, the head coach of the Seahawks, attacked the Saints secondary. He gave everybody the blueprint of how to beat the Saints defense. It's no coincidence with you see another coach that came in, and Zach Taylor. He mirrored a lot of what Pete Carroll did. Pete Carroll attacked the Saints secondary. He knows that the Saints secondary has communication issues, and he went right at the secondary. That's how they were able to produce explosive plays to break the game over. The Bengals did the same thing. They were able to hit.
Let me ask you this, Q. Now you said I think it's more just personnel, bro. Like, bro, come on. Like, if we just trusting our eyes, leaving our feelings out of it. Just watching if Tyrann Mathieu didn't have that name, boy, we'll be like, man, get this dude off the field.
Now I know Tyrann Mathieu, bro, could play ball. He might not be what he was several years ago, but he's still a smart guy that can give you some help. Now, whatever reason's going on, you see what I see from him, the efforts, the energy's not there, the effort's not there. A lot of times he be out of position, which is that is something. And listen, you're right. And I've called this out. I've not been a guy light on any of the Saints players. I like a lot of those guys, but at the same time, just because I like you don't mean that if you out there messing up, that I'm not going to keep it real and call you out. I'm not Skip Skeletor Bayless.
Right. I like players. I love my Saints.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing. Like, a Skip Skeletor Bayless, he'll fiddle around and he'll make excuses for Tom Brady because he likes him. You don't want to say nothing bad about him. But if you out there messing up on the field, you deserve to get called out. You can't call out other people if you screwing up and messing up. Right. What I'm saying about Tyrann Mathieu is that he's a leader on the back end of that defense, and he needs to step the hell up and own it. He needs to take responsibility in the back end of that defense and command better, man. He's the guy that the Saints gave the money to be one of the big brains and eyes of the back end of the Saints defense, and that's simply not happening. Over the last several weeks, the Saints have been attacked directly through the secondary.
Right at him, bro. You see his number chasing and chasing the ball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's right around that play, like that one play that they threw deep where he went to the left and he should have. There was no one to the left. Like, you know what I'm talking about, Q. It was that deep shot for a touchdown. and you just see him moving over to the left, but there's nobody over there. Like, see, this is why I need that savvy veteran play. This is why we got you here, because you should already know. All right, ball going to him. There's no one else here. Like, I expect a rookie just to be like, all right, my assignment is to stay here. No, not you, T. Yeah. But that, bro, it's just not coming together this year, bro. I see it, bro. I can feel it. But I tell you what, all right, positives. Our offense rolled better with Andy. Period. I'm serious, bro. Like, well, I know people like to run with Jameis, and yeah, Jameis got a lot of upside. But honestly, if our defense could never get back to who we thought they were, right? If we could have a top 10 defense, man, we can win games with Andy all day. But I'm just trusting my eyes, bro. I root for Jameis, bro. But I think our offense run better. It looks better. I mean, God, bro, it was some hard football watching with Jameis. Not only this year, but last year also. It was hard to watch.
I mean, he
was winning games, bro, but we was 3-and-out all day, Q.
Jameis's last year's performance was a lot better. I mean, he wasn't dealing with. I mean, he was slow on the draw in terms of like going through his progressions. It was stuff that he was doing, but he was having success. I mean,
we was having success as a team. But a lot of those games was what, 16-19.
Yeah, well, no, he had some good games in there. He was doing some pretty decent thing. I mean, his ratio, what he was, 14-2, or what was his touchdown?
14-3.
So okay, that he was doing a pretty good job in there operating the team. He wasn't.
He was, bro, but it's almost like we settling. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the Saints didn't want to go with a rookie quarterback. I can see what they're doing. That was Coach Payton decided that he goes with a veteran. It was the same maneuver he did with Drew Brees. He could have drafted a quarterback and brought him in, groomed him, but that wasn't his forte. He went with a veteran because he felt that the learning curve is a lot shorter, in which it is. But you pick on Jameis. I mean, they take on Jameis as the quarterback of the team, Coach Payton did, and he had an opportunity to learn some stuff, and he did improve as a quarterback in the Saints system because
under Sean Payton,
right. But at the same time, Pete Carmichael cannot be discounted because he's a guy that had that school he went through that.
But he don't have that same respect. Hey, Q, when Jameis went off on the sideline, do you think that would have ever happened under Sean Payton? Jameis would have shut up, been humble, and took whatever the hell he just said and shut up.
That's true, but that's the thing. But
Jameis unhinged, he off the leash.
But that's good and bad, though. That's good and bad. Like Coach Payton, a message at times would get stale. Coach Payton was at time overbearing, and sometimes a lot of stuff Coach Payton did was positive. A lot of it, what he did, negative. But listen, we didn't have a choice. Payton decided to leave. The Saints felt like they wanted to keep a familiarity in the building. Carmichael, who knows his system better than anybody, not named Drew Brees, came on. Now, of course, this is the first time in a long time he's been a coordinator. He got to get it together. He got to get him and the quarterback on the same page. But the reality is that you look at the Bengals matchup. The Saints competed with the Bengals. All of their people was there. All of their starters were there. And the Saints still was running and leading the game up into 3 minutes and 40-something odd seconds. Yeah. Remaining.
Baltimore would have made a huge difference, bro.
I mean, yeah, this is true, but still in all, that if you getting paid, we still are heavy laden with people on the defense. You're missing Lattimore here, but you still got everybody else back there. You're missing Lattimore.
But who we got, bro? You know what Rumpy gonna give you.
But listen, I'm saying at the end of the day is that this team is not like the olden Saints was driven by what Drew Brees did at the helm. Peyton relied heavily on Drew Brees and his influence over the offense. That has changed to a great degree. A lot of times dealing with Jameis Winston, he don't have the same handle on the offense like Drew had. And Drew had, 10 plus years of operating under the same system. So, I mean, what I'm saying is I seen promise in Jameis Winston last year. This year, I can't really say that because of all the injuries. The dude got broken bones in his back. He messed up all kind of which ways. So, yeah, Andy Dalton looks better than him because the dude is banged up. So, I mean, I can't make a fair assessment and say, that I prefer Dalton over, of course I'm going to say I like Dalton over a banged up Jameis Winston. That's commonsensical. But at the end of the day, Andy Dalton came into this matchup here and he missed on a couple of throws that could have been touchdowns. He threw at the guy's feet one time, and then the other one he threw to the outside when he was supposed to throw to the inside. And he was not efficient in this game. He was missing on a lot of stuff, and that's what you get with Andy Dalton. That's what a backup does. But at the end of the day, this team is driven by the offensive power part. It took them a couple of games to figure out that we need to run the ball to gain success. And in essence, that was supposed to be a win yesterday, but the defense allowed them people to create explosives to run the game back. You can't beat the Bengals if you're the Saints back of the backups. You Andy Dalton, your Traquan Smith, your Mark. Think about what I'm saying. You don't have your starting quarterback. You don't have your starting 3 wide receivers, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, and Michael Thomas. You have Traquan Smith, Marquez Callaway, and a practice squad wide receiver as 1, 2, and 3 in the game. And the Saints still ran for almost 230 yards. They averaged almost 7 yards per carry for the team. That is massive positives because they found an identity among the losing and the boobishness that's going on. The Saints found their identity. And the reason why they lost this game in large part is you got the contributions to the special team with the dumbass punt by Blake Gillikin that set up the short field. And the Saints defense gets out there and allowed the Bengals to have a one-hit quitter, 60 yards to the house to break the game open. You cannot compete with the Bengals offense if you're the back of the backup Saints offense with all these backups rolling. You got to understand there's a limit to what the backups could do. If that was the case, then it would be the starters. The starters give you more of an impact. They give you more of a force that in there than the backups do. So we were still competing and had the game, winning the game at that point before the defense allowed that stuff to happen. But there were 3 explosive plays in the game that broke open the game. And I'm saying this, they did what Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Bengals, did was simply reproduce certain portions of the game plan that Pete Carroll did with Seattle last week. The difference with the Saints is that Taysom Hill didn't have the same output that he had in the other game to dominate them the way he did to push forward in the loss, in the win. That didn't happen this time. The Saints went away from Taysom because I promise you, had they stuck with Taysom in on that third and that 4th down or whatever, they would have got them 4 yards they needed to keep the clock going. For whatever reason, Taysom wasn't involved. That's a whole nother question. That's a whole nother show. But at the end of the day, what I'm giving you is I'm telling you that the Saints back of the backup offense gave you as much as they could give you, and it was up to the defense, who don't have as many injuries as the Saints offense. They were supposed to hold down the game, secure it, and not allow the explosive plays to break open the game.
That D-line is the big question mark this year, Q, bro. I don't know what's up, bro.
But not only that, but if you listen, we know Bradley Roby ain't the best cornerback in the world, but what we expect these guys to do is to tackle. If you're going in there and you're missing tackles and you're allowing guys to get to the next level, it's going to be a long game. And the Saints were they were missing tackles in the secondary, and especially in the second half of the game. And the game plan, when Tyron said, Dennis called a good game plan, I was bucking and saying, dude, you capping. Because how you call a good game plan in the second half of the defense, the Saints in the first first touchdown of the second half for the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals offense basically walked up the field on the Saints. They were throwing in the ball and averaging 7 and 8 yard completions and basically walk the ball up the field on the Saints defense, who did nothing. The Saints escorted them like they was the ball at the dance, and the guy picked them up and they escorted them to the dance. That's what the Saints did.
I think what Tyron meant by that comment, bro, was that because as we saw, like, yeah, they was moving up and down the field, but they had a man right there, right on their hip. Like the call was a good call. The guys was getting beat. But I think that's what Tyron meant.
But that's one play though, J Live. That's one play. The whole game, especially in the second half, the Saints didn't have. If they just needed to have 3 solid stops of the Cincinnati Bengals offense, they couldn't even do that. They really didn't get after the quarterback to the second half when they got 2 sacks. And had they not got them 2 sacks on that drive, the Bengals would have scored on their drive. So they was able to get back-to-back sacks, and then they kicked the 50-yard field goal to go ahead with the points. But what I'm saying is, overall, what they're saying, that was not a good game plan. They was calling because a good defensive coordinator or a good coach knows his personnel and know not to put them in situations where they can't handle. You got to, if you see that guy out there missing tackles, you got to pull him out of there. You can't sit there and let players who don't have it hurt you. So no, he didn't have a game plan. And you don't let bad playing or players that's missing tackle mess the game up. You remove
Well, who we
guys.
gonna put in, Q?
You put who, Justin Evans. You put Justin Evans in there. You take the next man and put him in there because he'll be better, at least better at tackling than the guy that you have in there that ain't giving you nothing. That's what.
Wait, Justin Evans play safety though, bro.
Justin Evans was playing nickel. You would have to resituate some stuff, but at the end of the day, you would have to make whatever adjustments that's necessary to get a guy out of there who's not playing correctly. Even if you have to move him from one side to the other or move him off the field, period, because he out there missing tackles, and then you can't let him mess the game up. Is what I'm saying. It's the same thing as a guy that's
no Q shit. We were supposed to walk away with that game because we had the ball in our possession. We needed the first down.
But at the end of the day, prior to that, what made you get to the point where you would need to? And this is the thing: we knew that touchdown from Chase that got them there, but prior to that, we knew that if the Saints had not gotten that first down, that ultimately we knew, because we were saying it in the chat, that I don't have confidence that the Saints defense would hold those people off. And that's exactly what they did. They came out there. Remember this as well. The Saints defense is bad. This game showed that the Saints defense has communication issues. The secondary dealing with injuries and communication issues. Very bad. Because they had a drive in which the Saints offense were on the field for, and I keep saying this, they were on the field for 8 minutes. They were almost 8-minute drive, drove down the field, which is concerning because they didn't get the touchdown. Usually the defense that you're playing will be worn out and you're supposed to score on a 7 or 8, 7-minute drive. You're supposed to get 7. They didn't get it. They got a field goal. But after that, the defense comes back and allows them to march up the field and score a touchdown easily. So it's like, okay, they weren't tied. What's the point? What's the problem? The problem is the Saints defense is not who we thought they are at this juncture of time. Now, will that change? I think that will. Why? Why do you feel that way, Q? Is this cautious optimism? No, it's not cautious optimism. I'm going off with the history, what I know about guys like Demario Davis, what I know about guys like Cam Jordan, guys like Tyrann Mathieu, even though he doesn't look that good right now, don't mean that he's going to stay that way. How do you know that? Because I have faith in Coach Chris Richard. I know that Chris Richard, looking at that tape, I know that he's passionate. I know that he's a guy that won't let the goddamn secondary keep getting torn up like that. He'll get them guys in there and make it happen. I know Ryan Nilsson's a hell of a defensive line coach, that he will inspire these guys to do what they need to do to hold, because the Saints defense was the reason. They know that there was a reason for surrendering that game. If they make those stops, the last 2 possessions that the defense was on, they make those stops, the Saints win the game. They know that. They know they surrendered the game at the end of the day. So do I have faith to understand that the Saints will turn it around? And do I think the season is over with? Hell no. It's too much football left to be played in this season. It's too much. And then another thing, just to leave you with, then I'm going to move on to the next person, Brother J Live, is this. The Saints found an identity, bro. Over the last 2 games, remember the prior games in the season, the Saints struggled with identity issues, thinking that they were a passing team. And I kept telling people, you're not a passing team, because if you had, you would beat Tampa and Carolina. And Carolina, I don't think they beat anybody but the Saints. But you would have definitely beat Carolina. So what I'm saying is the Saints found an identity. They ran 48 times for whatever it was in the game against the Seahawks. And then they come back around with a 228 game performance and average 7 yards a carry against this last team. So the Saints have found their identity. They will get Chris Olave back, and guys will come back, will filter back into the season. So I do expect the Saints to win some games here, and we'll clean up some things. I don't expect them to be perfect, but another positive is they didn't turn the ball over last game against the Bengals. Remember, that was something that was killing them. In the prior games, every game they had at least 2 turnovers. They didn't have any turnovers, and they got a turnover. So that's a positive. So them finding an identity as a running attack, them finding the discipline to be able to not turn the ball over, are positives in my eyes, as opposed to what we've seen in the prior game. So do I expect them to turn it around? I do expect them to play a lot better, because they got too many people that's on this team that are good players. They got a lot of pride that won't let this go in the wrong direction. If we feel like this team's going to tank, we disrespecting Demario Davis, who we know a baller. We know he a beast. We disrespecting Cam, and people been talking shit about Cam, and the only thing Cam do is keep getting sacks. He 5 sacks off of whatever it is, off of catching Ricky Jackson, who's a Hall of Famer in the NFL league, the best sacker the Saints ever seen. This man within a stone throw of catching on to him. So, and like Tyrann Mathieu, we know Tyrann's not as fast as what he is, but we know Tyrann still is an intelligent dude, and it's a matter of time. So, like I say, I expect them to dig in. Now, will this all come together against the Cardinals? We will see. That's all we can do. But that's my spill on it. That's why I still think the Saints, don't give up on the Saints and think the season over. It's too many people here that holding the team together. If those guys disappeared, then I'm like, yeah, you know what? We in trouble because they don't have the leadership or capability to keep the team. No, you got dogs and guys that are strong leadership, guys that are built in faith that's on this team that will hold this team together. And I expect them to galvanize and improve. Because the team they playing against, the Arizona Cardinals, is not a fail-safe team. They ain't a team that's a ball buster or tearing down or burning up the league. Most of the teams that we playing down the stretch do have issues and problems. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. The Saints didn't turn the ball over last game, and they rushed for 220-something yards, over 30-plus carries. They found an identity, and that's a big plus, big part of it. You gain Chris Olave back. Eventually, you'll get Mike Thomas back. You will get Jarvis Landry back. Eventually, these guys will filter back to the team, and you'll start seeing your better players and your playmakers come, and then you'll have even more success. That's what I think will happen. But, J-Lob, thank you for chiming in, bro. I appreciate your commentary, bro, and the keeping in your perspective. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right, who that, bro?
Thank you. Peace. All right, that's J-Lob, man. Shout out to J-Lob. Uncle Paulie, I seen brother Tim chime in here. Tim, if you want to pop back in, come on and pop back in, bro. I'll get you in there. Uncle Paulie, welcome to the stream. We got Tragic there as well. Tragic, I'll get to you in a moment, brother. Welcome to the stream, Uncle Paulie. How you feeling, bro?
What's going on, Q?
Good, bro. Good.
Man, Q. I mean, what's the point? You give the keys to winning the game, season in, season out, game in and game out. Nobody said, well, you know what, maybe we need to check in the sports coma and see how we can win. Cause I tell you, Dennis Allen really, Lord, you need a straight line to him, man. I mean, every time you tell them what to do, Q, they go out there and say, damn that, use my French, we ain't gonna do that. Taysom Hill was the hot hand. I hate Eli Apple put that shoulder into him and hit him, Q. I saw that. That's why we didn't see Taysom no more. That low-down, dirty Eli Apple hit that man up on his chin. And they showed it over there. Taysom Hill had birds flying around his head, man. He got his bell wrong. That's what happened. That's why we didn't see him no more. I think that just ticked me off, Q. Like I said, I ain't always been a Taysom Hill fan, but Taysom Hill was hot. If we could have had him for a few more plays, man, they could have turned it around. Cause I thought that I thought this was gonna try to run the ball out. Run the clock out. But you know how that is. And this too, Q. Who got the disappear for Dwayne Washington to get a carry in the game? What's up with that? Come on now, Q.
I mean, Uncle Paulie.
Okay, he gonna be gone too. Now, I we cut up you, but this I ain't never seen it before where people on the practice squad get picked off the same roster. How come we can't do that to other people and get good players in here? That would have never happened under Sean Payton, Hey, I wish we'd had Latavius Murray a couple of plays, Go ahead, Q. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when week 1 happened, I watched the game. And the family members know I called it. I say, family, listen, we got identity crisis here. I called it out. I said the Saints are dealing with an identity crisis. I called it out early because I know what I'm looking at. I know when I look at the team, I was like, yeah, they're trying to win the game by throwing, but they're not a throwing team. I kept saying that. I kept saying this is a team that's suffering from identity crisis. Put one in the chat, family, if y'all remember me. After the week 1 game, we watched the game, and I said, family, this team's suffering from an identity crisis. They think they're a passing team, but really they're a rushing team. It took them several games to get to that. For the last 2 games where the Saints were able to start running the ball and they had success. And the reason why they lost the game in part was because of the explosive plays that we talked about in the Seattle matchup. The explosive plays. We talked about it. I know what I'm looking at. I know this team. I know the personnel. I know the mindset. It took them several weeks of dysfunctional offensive football before they finally say, you know what, let's try to run the ball. And then they had success against Seattle. They had success against Cincinnati. And what hurt them was the fact that fundamentally broke down and it wasn't tackling. So when you look at this team, and he is bringing in people. He brought in Howard. He brought in the bruising running back. The Saints didn't activate him. And the thing that I'm saying is, okay, you did a good job. You brought in Howard. And you kept him on the practice side. Well, QE don't know enough. He don't need to know enough to give him the ball behind a fullback and say, go give me 3 or 4 yards.
There you go, Q. There you go.
How much does, and of course,
he ought to know 2 or 3 plays, get the ball and run, bro. That's all you got to do.
And Carla says they slow to the trigger, Q. We said that too. I said, family, it is very concerning that the whole debacle with Latavius Murray occurred and all this other stuff happening. And certain people that's on the practice squad. This happened way at the end of the preseason when the Saints made the decision to take we talk about losing Latavius Murray, and then we end up losing Eric Harris.
We weren't getting no touches.
We ended up losing Eric, the linebacker, to the Green Bay Packers, and I'm like, that guy is supposed to be on the active roster.
Wilson should still be on this team.
Wilson should, and I was saying that, I was like, God, Lee, these guys are really slow on the trigger with some of these moves, because in essence, when you got guys that ball out in practice in the preseason and in the minicamp, and they make the team, these guys are supposed to be on the active roster. We're talking about guys like Kirk Merritt. We're talking about like Eric Wilson. We're talking about guys that outplayed the guys that was ahead of them. They were the best player, but how do you reward them? By putting them on the practice squad. So we've seen this slow triggered mentality, and was questioning that. How would you then practice squad Eric Wilson, practice squad this other guy, and then finagle around with guys like Kevin White that don't give you anything? What's the game? What's the thinking on that? So, I mean, they are picking and pulling people. They did a good job of finding guys from other places. They brought Keith Kirkwood back on the team. That was a good decision. They brought in Chris Harris, and even though Chris Harris looked slow, he was getting his ass burnt on them slant plays up against the Bengals in the matchup, because he had a lot of tackles, but he was in a trailer position a lot of night.
Ruby too. Why is Ruby still on this team? That fool, every time I looked around, he was diving at people's feet. I'm like, what the heck is he doing?
But I'm saying though, Uncle Paulie, that you need, the way this operates is they're not going to run Dwayne Washington. This is obvious. They're not going to run him as a running back. They're not going to use him as a running back. That's obvious to me. But you would want to have another guy there where you can be able to utilize him in a short yardage capacity, because if Taysom gets banged up, what are you going to do? You still need him. And listen, I give credit to Alvin Kamara. But I gave credit to Mark Ingram and both Alvin Kamara, because both of those guys was averaging over 5 yards. They was averaging over 5 yards a run. And the Saints had 34 rushing attempts in the matchup, but had more passing attempts than rushing attempts. I was like, hold on here. No, that's wrong. That you can't have more if you're the Saints and you got the back of the backup offensive guys in there, the quarterback and wide receivers. You can't have more passing attempts than you have rushing attempts. And that's what happened. If you watch the statistics closely, they edged just ahead on the passing attempts. So in essence, look what happened in the last drive of the game is, yes, you got to give it to coaching and play calling, because in essence, you throwing the ball on the fourth, trying to take a deep shot for 4 yards. And I'm like, you think about the play prior to it, like when Dalton missed on Callaway throwing behind him on. I'm like, dude, Dalton is not winning you the game. He's not winning you the game. They don't. These guys, they bad on the field of the game, bro. Bro, they bad on the field of the game. Filling out the game in certain aspects, they turn dumb as hell, man. I'm like, fill out the game. Look at the players. See who's got it, who don't got it. Guys who don't got it, pull them out of there. Don't let them hurt the team. It's a constant thing. It's like it's not like it's a uniform thing. Like this guy's gonna stand the whole goddamn game. If you got an offensive lineman in there and he ain't blocking, we pull him out, put the next guy in. Let's get a better performance. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it shaking. You got wide receivers that's dropping passes. Take that guy out, put the next guy in. That's how it works. We're not gonna keep riding with guys who are not making the play, who's missing tackles. If this guy is missing tackles, he's obviously not ready to play. Thus, he don't deserve the reps. So we got to pull him out. But feeling the game,
Shaheed in there. Shaheed would have the hot hand. Where he go?
Uncle Paul is filling out the game. They slow, man. I said this. I said, family, these people, like some of the moves they make, they slow to the trigger. It's
That's
like
true.
they don't adjust. Like, this is like commonplace stuff that a head coach should have a feel for. Dude, you gotta have you the head coach. That means you gotta have your hand on the pulse of the team. You gotta know which guys have it, which guys don't have it. You gotta know which guys are coming to play, the ones that don't, and who don't play, you got to take them out. You got to constantly have your hand on the team.
That's what I miss about
constant moving, living thing. You can't.
That's what I miss about Coach Payton. When people messed up, jumping, be ready on board, he give them the what fuzz, they coming off the field. Then it sound like he be ducking and hiding back there. Man, go tell that guy he messed up. You act like you scared of him. You the coach. Come on, dude.
But listen, I can understand what you're saying, but Dennis Allen might take his temperament from the school of Tony Dungy. When the last you see a guy like Tony Dungy ain't cussing at his players, or like Willie Green and the coach in the Pelicans. They say Willie Green don't curse. He said, I never, B.I. said, CJ said he never played for a guy that don't cuss as a head coach. Willie don't cuss. Tony Dungy is another one of them. Maybe that's his temperament. He's not a guy that's going, he's not confrontational. He's not going to get up in your face. We see that that's not what kind of coach he is. But listen, this not a young team. This not a young team where you're supposed to get up in their face like that. You got guys that's captains. They got some bitches that got a C on their chest. What you got to see on your chest for? Captain. That means you're the captain. You're supposed to have player-only meetings. Where are the player-only meetings right now?
They have it
only meetings where they're supposed to be having a discussion. The captain's supposed to be checking that. The captain's supposed to be getting on these guys that's not making the plays. Dennis Allen's non-confrontational. So is Carmichael. These are non-confrontational men. We knew that. We knew them coming into this. They're not going to confront the guys like a Peyton would, mean mug you and do shit like that. He's not going to do that. And he shouldn't have to do that. If I'm paying you and you're a professional and you're a captain, I shouldn't have to get up in your goddamn face and mean mug you or threaten you like you 12 years old or 10 years old or 8 years old. You professionals supposed to know how to play. That's the bottom line.
How did the Bengals play the whole game and have 2 penalties? And you said every time the Saints in a hot game and it's close, watch them zebras start cutting up, and I'll be doggone. That's just what they started to do. The Saints had like 4 penalties on one drive. That was absolutely pathetic for the referee to do the Saints offense like that.
But I'm saying in terms of the mindset of the team, you making millions of dollars playing for the Saints. Listen, this is a team that has a culture. When people say we spoiled on winning, they never say you spoiled on losing. Don't tell me that I'm spoiled on winning if you're not going to tell me I'm spoiled on losing. When the Saints were losing year after year after year after year after year after year for 20-something goddamn years, when they started finally winning games and doing something the right way, I never heard not one time when people was wearing bags on their head, oh, y'all guys surely spoiled for putting them damn bags on your head. But it's the moment you start getting success and you get acclimated to success because you're supposed to be a successful person. You're supposed to thrive and strive for success. That's what you're supposed to breathe the air of success. When you start doing that and consistently have success, next thing you know, you spoiled to success because you're supposed to want to be successful. What fool walking around here said, I want to live in a constant state of dysfunction and not be successful. That fool whoever that is an idiot and he need to be committed. There is no such thing as being spoiled to winning, just like there's no such thing to be spoiled to success. That's bullshit. If you can't send it one way, you can't send it another way. It don't make sense. Stop saying it. The problem, you got a culture in the building where they have a high expectation. Expectations mean that you're going to live up to this and you're not going to go below this. You're going to build on this and you're going to move forward. Now, the problem with the Saints is accountability. The Saints captains, whoever they may be, need to take onus of the team and have these player-only meetings. Stop looking for Dennis Allen or Pete Carmichael to get in the face of these players because that is not who they are. They are not confrontational men, and they shouldn't have to be. confrontational men to get in the face of grown-ass men that's making millions of dollars playing a children's game. Terrence Copper came on this show, former wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, the Chiefs, and a couple other people. And Terrence Copper, when I'm talking to Terrence telling me, he said, Q, listen, the way it is, man, it falls on the players. You're a professional. You're getting paid to be a professional. You have to own it. You have to take responsibility, and you have to step up and handle the business. You have to play better on the field, and that is the expectation. We're not paying you to be a bum ass, a dumbass who can't tackle. We're not paying you for that. You're not here for dysfunction. You're here for functionality. We spit on dysfunction. We route out dysfunction. That's how you breed an air of success. And you got to credit a lot of that to Coach Payton. So where do I put this at? I put this where it belongs, on the goddamn players, because there's a ton of veterans in that building that are true professionals, all pro and future Hall of Famers that know what time it is, and they need to get up off their ass and stop dancing in them goddamn locker rooms. Tell them goddamn smoke machines out of there, like I've been saying for the last 2-3 years, and get down to business and act like y'all had a win before. Act like you've been there. And I'm challenging every last one of y'all, because the Who Dat Nation got every goddamn right to be upset about the bullshit football that y'all turning up out there. Don't get up on social media and tell people to rock with y'all when y'all living in a state of dysfunction. No, go inward to y'allself, because all they doing is reacting off of what you giving them. So they will well within their rights to feel the way they do about this, because they know shit from sugar. You're not gonna paint this big cow dung over here and tell me, oh man, guess what? That's the biggest piece of cinnamon bun you ever seen in your life. You know the difference between shit from sugar, and you ain't gonna trick them into thinking that. The only way to improve is for you guys to own the bullshit on that field and get your ass in there, have a player-only meeting, take responsibility, make your goddamn tackles, and execute the game like you're supposed to. You can't go from a top 10 defense to a bullshit top 15, 20 defense, but without not applying these principles. And once
let me ask you, why the defensive line playing so bad?
Hold on, Uncle Paulie, just for a second. And let me say this to the Who Dat Nation family for one last time. Stop looking for Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael to get in these guys' face. Stop looking for that, because that won't happen. He's non-confrontational. Dennis Allen is non-confrontational. Dennis Allen walks like he's on a treadmill. Dennis Allen walks like he's floating on a cloud. Dennis Allen is not the type of man that's going to get up in your face and fuss at you and bitch at you and say, you need to get your ass up. That's what I would do if I was coach. I'd get up on you, because you ain't supposed to be representing like that. You're not going to represent, put these goddamn colors on and walk around here like your shit don't stink and like you don't know what you going to step your ass up and you going to get the hell up out of here. Bottom line. That's what we expect. So, I mean, at the end of the day, those guys are not going to do that. I said, where's the player only meetings? Until you see that, you're not going to really see serious success in a building unless you start seeing them. Even the LSU Tigers knew that. They went, and when Jaden Daniels, the quarterback of the Tigers, he got out there and had a players only meeting with his guys. And guess what? Him and his top wide receiver started getting on the same page. Because sometimes it takes the players to own it on the field and stop telling people that Dennis Allen had a good game plan when you sitting up there letting explosive plays break the goddamn game open. Cut it out.
I
thought we did Dennis Allen.
And you LSU playing better, Q.
Shut your ass up, Dennis Allen. Stop lying to handle your business, man.
Tulane playing better than the Saints right now. LSU, come on, Q. Listen, you know who I'm aggravated with? That defensive line. How you got Shy Turtle passing your street on there? I mean, come on, Q. Granderson, they ain't getting no pressing. You say it every time, Q. The no-name offensive line keep whooping the Saints defense. Wait till they get up against an elite offensive line. It's really gonna get ugly. What you think?
Like I said, Uncle Paulie, I've watched these games. The Saints have played some of the Saints defense. The defensive line in particular has gone up against some of the most non-named offensive lines that I've seen. The Seattle Seahawks offensive line, the Atlanta Falcons offensive line, the Tampa Bay offensive line, where 4 of their starters were missing. The only person out there is the right tackle, Tristan Wilf, and they kept the Saints defenders off of Tom Brady, who's a statue back there, and they got 1 sack, and they split between 2 interior defensive linemen. The Saints played the Carolina offensive line. None of these lines are what you would consider top offensive lines in the league, and the Saints can't get home against no-name offensive lines. That is very concerning to me. When you see a Davenport who's going up against a rookie and he can't beat the rookie, and he looking for big money, you're a first-round draft pick, you can't beat this third-round pick around here, this rookie offensive lineman, you can't beat him, bro. That's the type of stuff I'm saying where that has to be addressed in player-only meetings. Like, you got to turn up the intensity because your season, to a degree, is on the line. You got to look at it and say, listen, so I've been saying this for a long time. Turn off, get rid of the goddamn club, Saint. Get rid of all of that and act like every win that you get is the win. You just act like you've been there before. Enough of this dancing in the locker room, bipping and bopping, and you two games under 500. Enough of that. In fact, it is an absolute abomination that the Saints are sitting up here 1-3 in their home building. The majority of the games that have been played over the last 6 weeks are games that's in a home venue. The Saints are 1-3 in a home venue.
And that used to be unheard of, Q. The Dome, hey, that used to be where the Saints played at home. But now it's the flip, man.
You can't.
I'm gonna tell you what, Q. If they don't get it together, sooner or later, Boo Bird is gonna start the Dome, and that's gonna be ugly, man. I'm telling you. Saints fans gonna keep paying their money, coming watching that crap, man. And that's what it's getting to be, crap. You know, I don't know. I think Richard, his two-headed defensive coordinator stuff, Q, is just not working to me. I don't know if they're not agreeing on what to run from play to play, but come on now. The defense, I mean, you know, it's really going to take about at least 2 steps backwards. If you told me the defense would play like this as a whole, man, I'd be like, get out of town, man. We wasn't expecting this, Q. It's a shock. That's why we're so upset and frustrated. Because we thought this would be a better start. And, you know, the Saints always had these slow starts anyway. But Q, the schedule's not finna get no easy. I don't know why Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael can't get through their thick skulls. It's not finna get any easier. And if they don't get together now, Q, they forget the playoffs, Q. They forget that.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, Uncle Paul. And we just gonna have to watch and see what they do, man. Because at the end of the day, and I hear some of the family members saying that they don't respect Dennis Allen. Joe says Dennis don't even argue bad calls. They don't respect him as a coach. Bro, listen. The Saints had the Saints had. Thank you, Uncle Paul, bro. Thank you for chiming in, my brother. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Who that?
That's Uncle Paul. Appreciate him. I got Tragic coming up next. Tragic, I'm coming to you in a minute, bro. The respect thing, bro. Listen, all I got for that, bro, is I like our historian that just left us the great Saint think tank historian, Uncle Paul, knows about the history of the team, you know, intricately. All I can say is this about Dennis Allen and respect to the team. The Saints went with Dennis Allen, and we going back and look to the philosophy. It's because Dennis Allen had a familiarity with what was going on in the building. Pete Carmichael, new Saints. The Saints had a functional offensive system that was time-tested, that wins. It was a time-tested system that worked. The defense was chaired by Dennis Allen. He took the Saints defense to championship levels. Head coaching is it's a big difference than being the defensive coordinator. But the respect issue in terms of him, most of the guys that are playing for him are guys that know who Dennis Allen is. The issue that I see a lot of times is it's a mixture of both. I think they have respect for him. I really do think they have respect for him. But what I'm seeing with the Saints defense is a collage of different things that are occurring. And a lot of it is self-inflicted stuff. It's like the Saints have the talent level. They have the talent on defense to be a top 5, top 10 unit. But it's a disconnect somewhere, communication issues breaking down, guys missing tackles. It's like fundamental stuff that we shouldn't see happen with a defense as veteran and as senior as this defense. You get what I'm saying? This the type of stuff that I'm seeing is frustrating and maddening, because I would have more patience for a defense that's a young defense that got young players there that's figuring it out. not established veterans with a history of success. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu. These guys are established veterans with histories of success. And it just really upsets me because I'm like, dude, this defense should be a lot further along than what they are. And I'm saying at some point that Demario Davis, Cam, and some of the leaders of the defense have to galvanize and say to themselves, bro, we are better than this. We need to stop doing this. We need to handle the goddamn business and start getting down to the points of handling business. Now, what I got to give credit to Dennis Allen is, in his own little way, he got up on the press conference and told you that he guaranteed you the Saints going to win this game. Dennis Allen said that. I played it in the press from the press conference before this show started. Dennis Allen guaranteed the win. It went right over their heads. The reporter sitting there looking at him. I guarantee you we're gonna win this game. And somebody said, they said, well, we're gonna no. He said, I will. He says, we will win this game. He didn't use the term guarantee. Let me retract that. His verbatim statement was, we will win this game. And then my thing was, if I was sitting there, I would say, do you guarantee that they win the game? Because if he guarantees they win the game, his goddamn team has got to back him up. His team has got to back him up. So if you got to make stern statements and get these guys behind you to ride with him, he said, we will win the game. He said that. We will win this game. He never said that prior to any of these matchups. Like, we're going to go in the game, we're going to execute our plan, and we're going to try to do the best we can do. That's usually his spiel. That press conference, he said, we will win this game. So I would have said, do you guarantee? And then he would have been told, listen, we're going to win this damn game. You know, he would have doubled down, or he would have backed up off that thing. So what I'm saying is, the Saints have all the talent in the world from a defensive standpoint. They really do. There is no reason for this. There's no reason for this. So the players have to get up off their asses and take some pride in themselves and take some pride in the Who Dat Nation. Get your ass off of social media telling people, Jawan Johnson, that just stay with us, rock with us. We're going to be fine. No, dude. Forget the lip service. Show us on the field what you can do. That's what you do. And that's how you get the people, the hell with the lip service. Show us via your actions. Because you can talk more shit with your actions than you ever do sitting up there talking about just rock with us for a little bit because we're going to be all right. I don't want to hear that, Jawan. Miss me with that. Miss me with that, because the people been rocking with you for weeks now, and all they showing you is half-ass football, and the Saints not taking responsibility, sitting up here trying to gaslight people into thinking we had a good game plan going into. I think Ben Sally called a real good game plan. I think we did a pretty good job of tackling. No, you didn't tackle well, and your game plan wasn't that good. How you giving up explosive plays and gonna sit up here and gaslight the Who Dat Nation into thinking that they did a good game plan? Come on, man. We smarter than that. Tragic, welcome to the stream, bro.
How you doing, Big Q?
I'm all right, bro. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, you know, this season been disappointing, but you know, this defense, it's still a good defense, but it's not a championship defense. We sort of may have squandered our chance last year. Last year we had a championship defense that was something special, and I think the management kind of didn't make the proper assessment of the personnel of what they had and what they thought they was and what they replaced with what they had. And when I say this, when I look at the past couple of years, we had a secondary that was so intact. We really even last year we wasn't really getting the type of pass rush that a lot of teams that's known for having sacks get. It was just that our secondary was covering so well. It allowed for the pass rush to get there because they were so good in coverage, and by them being so familiar with each other, they knew the proper checks and it held up longer. But this year, you got such new personnel now that pass rush is still slow getting there. But you got so many new safeties, the coverage doesn't hold up long enough for that pass rush to get there. We don't really have a pure pass rush. We have more like defensive stoppers with pass rush ability. We don't actually have pass rushing defensive ends. So I think that was one of the assessments of the management, you know, didn't make when they let people like CD Deuce go and the Marcus Williams go. The Malcolm Jenkins retired. You basically got like 3 new safeties now, and we also lost a lot of size. Our base defense is basically a nickel, and when we had those 3 safeties, we had a nickel package that was pretty much you had players with size, so it was a nickel, but it was like a big nickel where you didn't even when you went against teams that had run games, you could play that nickel and you were still secure and stopping the run. Now with Tyrann Mathieu and the 2 new safeties, now we have a nickel that's more like a finesse nickel. It's a small nickel. This is like a really true nickel. You recognize like they're nickel defense. Let me try to run this down their throat. Let me try to intimidate this defense. Last year's nickel, they couldn't be punked. This year's nickel, you could kind of like punk them a little bit in the run game somewhere. So I think like the management, we didn't do a good job of replacing what we lost. We kind of put the cart before the horse. We let CD Deuce go before actually seeing Alontae Taylor in a regular game. He gets hurt. You let him go. When CD Deuce got the job, it was because PJ Williams had wound up getting hurt. And then CD Deuce got in there, and we was like, whoa, you don't even miss PJ Williams. This guy here making plays. He's making plays, in coverage. He's making plays behind the line of scrimmage. He was forcing the run. He's with those sweeps coming to the outside, he's getting his helmet in there. He's slowing it down. He's causing plays to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now you starting to see plays develop, and we get the stops, but they're not no longer behind the line of scrimmage no more. They're 2 or 3 yards behind the scrimmage. Pete Warner is getting the tackles. He's leading the team with tackles, but the tackles are not that impactful. They're not. Third down is the money down. And with Quan and CD Deuce, you had players that was making plays on third down, that was making stops on third down. The reason why you're seeing all this easy going in the middle of the field now, even though, like I said, Warner is solid in the run game, but those underneath passing lanes are being opened up more, and it's being somewhat being exploited in the passing game. So now when you get to those crucial third downs, it's third down conversion. Boom, another 3 sets of downs. Boom, another third down conversion. Another 3 sets of downs. We're not having that lockdown ability that we had the past year.
Right. Yep.
So that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, tragic, man. Once again, I appreciate you chiming in, bro. It's always good to hear from you, bro. Your thoughts on it, man. You talk about the pass rush, man. You definitely hitting on it, man. You mentioned the impact of what CD Deuce brung at the nickel position. Really, when they drafted him, they seen him as a safety. They kind of knew he kind of mixed back and forth, but really he was seen as a safety. And when he kind of gravitated to that nickel position, it was just a match made in heaven. And you're right. The Saints having Alontae Taylor, what he could bring, he was very interesting. And now he's hurt. So the Saints have to do a lot of movement and shaking in the secondary. And they definitely catching hell right now.
Oh, one other thing. During the offseason, I thought we upgraded when we got rid of our medical staff and we brought in the guys from Alabama, and we brought half of the team. Maybe that other guy that they left behind, maybe he was the genius behind the injury reduction, because we're still seeing these injuries at an unprecedented rate.
Yeah, you got 14 guys on the injured list for just today. 14 guys, and this we're going into game number 7. You got 14 guys, and it's not the backups. It's like really, it's core guys that we missed. Our top 3 wide receivers. Well, Chris Olave's not on it Monday, so we hope we'll have him for the game. But Mike Thomas, Jarvis Landry, we see guys in and out of the list dealing with rib issues that go limited to full. With Taysom dealing with what he's dealing with. So I mean, it's phenomenal. Yeah. So yeah, Rhea is who you're talking about, the guy they picked from Alabama to come over here, who was the guy that was supposed to be a guru in that. So it's looking bad.
Yeah, we got so many foot and toe injury, foot, toe, ankle.
Yep.
Rib.
It's the same injuries.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same injuries, foot, toe, and rib.
And all of a sudden, all of a sudden now, Armstead going. Now all of a sudden he's healthy. He stays healthy now. He's gone away from us, and he's healthy in all the Miami games. Now every player that we count, they get hurt, but every player that goes to free agency, all of a sudden they get healthy. Hendrickson was constantly always hurt when he was with us. He goes to the Bengals, now he stays healthy.
That's amazing. It's amazing, man. After all those years being down here, man. So yeah,
we got players like Davenport, got amputated fingers. We got Turner. He got some type of chest injury. We got Pete with some type of chest injury. I don't know, these guys get nipple piercings or something. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on, but whatever happened with Peyton Turner kept him out the last couple of games, man. So it's not good.
Yeah. So.
But thank you, Tragic. Appreciate you, bro. Much love to you out there in Texas, bro. Thank you. And who that to you, bro?
Who that to the fan?
All right, that's Brother Tragic chiming in on that thing. Shout out to Brother Tragic. Make an interesting point about some of the injuries, man. Backs, toes, ribs. I mean, yeah, man. Yeah, same injuries. All right, we got Brother Terry. Brother Terry, welcome to the stream, bro. How you doing? Brother Terry, can you hear me? Brother Terry, can you hear me? Brother Terry, calling Brother Terry. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's happening? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me for some reason.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm here. Excuse me. Yes. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Give me a second, man. I'm trying to find something.
All right, you muted yourself, Brother Terry. Unmute yourself, bro. Hold on here. You got yourself muted. Unmute yourself, bro. I can't hear you, bro. Well, Terry, listen, I'm a cut you off. Just come pop back in, bro. It should reset everything.
Now.
Yeah, there you
Unmuted.
go. I can hear you.
Unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Brother Terry, I'm
that. It's on a delay for some reason.
Okay. But
go ahead, bro. The floor is yours. Two minutes ago. All right. Well, I'm gonna fall off, man. Get somebody else up. My bad.
No, the floor is yours. Go ahead, bro.
Cool.
All right, Brother Terry, having some issues, man. All right, but Brother Terry, if you listen to the stream, bro, try to pop back in. Maybe it'll reset. Maybe it'll reset itself, man. But Brother Terry, pop back in there, man. And we're gonna try to get you in there. You'll be the last call of the show. All right, so try to pop back in there, man. I'm gonna see if I can get you in there. And when you pop back in, just go ahead and drop your science, man. Let me know how you feel. All right, Brother Terry. All right, shout out to the fam, man. Let me see if Brother Terry, I'm gonna give him an opportunity to pop back in and see if he can get it right. Pop back in, Brother Terry. It should reset, and you can be able to go ahead and say what what he was saying. All right. Okay, Gardner 99 said, okay, Brother Gardner. He says, all right. He says, I tried. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, you're having some problems there. All right. But thank you, Brother Terry. Appreciate you chiming in, bro. I'm sorry you had some okay, here we go. All right, let me see. Let's try it again. Brother Terry, how it sound?
You're laughing at me, huh? You're laughing at me. Hey, Look,
go ahead, bro.
My message is coming. That's me. For whatever reason, I'm 2 minutes behind. You know, I'm talking, communicating. Look, the only thing I want to say, if y'all get this message, if y'all, if
Go ahead, brother Terry. The floor is yours, bro.
I'm like 2 minutes behind, but you know, man, I kind of lost my train of thought now. I want to talk about the honey badger for one. What is wrong with the honey badger? He looked like a piece of cotton. All right. And so far as the defensive lineman, I don't believe it's the defensive lineman. I believe it's the schemes that the defensive coordinators are running that got them all funked up. All right. Rushing 3 men at a time. Yeah, and I'm talking my ass off, man.
You got
I'm
you
gone.
got.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
All right, brother God. Okay, brother God is out. All right. Yeah, you get sound like you got you might have something going on, bro. A window open somewhere. You might be like watching it or have a window open and you probably heard yourself talking. You might have an extra window or video open of the show. Sometimes that happens. You have a video open in another window and you start talking and then it's a delay in the broadcast. So it's like, you know, you hear yourself a little later and that could possibly be what's going on too. So it's all right, bro. But listen, I hear what you're saying. About the defensive personnel, what you're saying. The truth of the matter is, bro, they're gonna have to come together and make it make sense, bro. And the bottom line is not like they're not working with a blank easel. You know what I'm saying? The Saints pretty much have the same similar set. You're missing the Jenkins and Williams on the back end, but they have similar a lot of the same players there and a lot of the team captains. One of the family members was saying they don't have no dogs on this team. I disagree. You don't think Demario Davis is a dog? Demario Davis is the epitome of what a dog is. All he does is play hard. You know, Pete Werner has been having a really solid season for the Saints. The Saints linebackers have been doing a pretty thorough job in there. You look at the Saints need to step up the pass rushing, but really, truthfully, and honestly, it's going to take both sides, whether it's going to take the players that got to own it and the coaches have to be able to get on the same page to get the most out of them. Whatever plays that they feel like they need to run that they have a lot of success on, they're going to have to figure this stuff out. Also, from a head coach standpoint, Dennis Allen is going to have to give somebody, he's going to have to get that defense over to Coach Richard and Coach Nielsen and let them handle that. And he'll have to act as an overseer because he has to stay abreast of all of the events of happening on his offense and defense and special teams. That's what the head coach is about. You can't just be sitting up here just looking at one thing or another. You leave the offense alone if they have success, you let them do their thing. But when all offenses, all rooms are having issues, all rooms are having difficulties, you're gonna have to get in there and see what the problem is. You got to turn up the juice. You got to, get in there and find out if you can bring some solution or some remedy to what problems are happening. The Saints have too many good players on this team. You know they're not devoid of talent. They have talent everywhere. The issue is they have to get on the same page and and get a win. The bottom line, they should have beat the Bengals. They let it go because of poor tackling and non-fundamental football. Now they on a short week against the Arizona Cardinals. Whose fault is this? It's the Saints' fault, players and coaches, and they're gonna have to figure it out. So I mean, we'll see what time it is. They got a short week and an opponent that punches the Saints in one of the biggest weaknesses they have, which is their inability to stop guys that can move around well as the quarterback. You got Kyler Murray, who's one of the fastest quarterbacks, if not the fastest quarterback in the NFL, which is kind of makes me really nervous to see Joey Burrow. That ain't even Joey Burrow's thing, scrambling around on the Saints defense. Could you imagine what Kyler Murray will do to them if they try to do that dumb shit that they did against the Cincinnati Bengals? Kyler Murray will make you pay for that. So the Saints gonna have to be really smart and intelligent, and I really do think that they need to consider bringing in more personnel. And one thing too, the Saints bring in Jordan Howard. They signed him to the practice squad. He needs to be activated because if Taysom Hill have rib issues, you need a heavy running back outside of Kamara and Ingram in there that can help out, especially in the fourth quarter, the third and fourth quarter, when you late in the game. A guy like Howard gets you those 3 or 4 yards that you couldn't get when they dumbasses was operating in that 2-minute bullshit offense. Another thing is the Saints gonna have to do a better job in the 2-minute offense. They don't run the 2-minute offense or the no huddle offense because they're not good at it. You know, that's a big problem for any team. They have a quarterback and a team that can't run a 2-minute offense. That is not good. So we 6 games into this thing, going into our 7th game on Thursday. There's a lot of issues. The good news, the Saints don't have to be perfect. That's the good news. They don't have to be perfect, but they're gonna have to have a better effort than what they did against the Cincinnati Bengals, against the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals, like I said, they're not a thundering team right now, and it all follows Drew Kyler Murray. The bad news is that they get DeAndre Hopkins back. That's the bad news. And of course, they traded for Robbie Anderson. So they're looking at the Saints saying, man, we got to get ready. We got to steal this win so we can get on the right side of things. So it's going to be intriguing and interesting all at the same time, family, to see how it all rolls. So listen, I'd like to thank all of the family members tonight for joining the stream tonight. We had fun. It was almost 3 hours of show as a reaction stream tonight. Please feel free to hit the like button. If you hadn't hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because you see we passionate. You see we about getting some answers. We about making a shaking pot. We won't be successful. We're not spoiled to success, just like you're not spoiled to losing. No such thing. Let's make sure we get this dub, and that's what we need to focus on moving into it. Now, another thing about Arizona is that Arizona is 0-3 at home. So the Saints stink, and they're 1-3 at home. Guess what? The Arizona Cardinals are 0-3 at home. They're 2-4 as a team, just like the Saints. They're 2-4, but they're 0-3 at home. Can we capitalize off of that? Can we capitalize off the fact that they stink at home, just like we stink at home? The Saints are 1-1 on the road, by the way, just in case you wanted to know. All right, so with that being said, please feel free, like I said, to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, and share the show on your social media feed with the rest of the diehards. Also, feel free to check out the link tree. The link is in the description section below for all of our merch. We got literally hundreds of products in our 3 merch shops that's down there. And of course, we have a couple of deals in one of our merch shops for gear, for the sports coma gear, and all kind of stuff. We got all kind of stuff. The latest gear we released was your Can't Cheat God. That's available. The Saints, Atlanta shirt, which is fun. So we still got a lot of great stuff that's available, and you can check it out in the pro shop. So check that out, fam. So with that being said, I'm going to pop out on that, man. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your night. And remember, we'll pop up here on Tuesday for our Patreon family members. We'll cover some Saints news and notes on Tuesday, Patreon Tuesday. For our YouTube members and our Patreon champions, if you want to get down with that, there's a link in the description section below to join up as a member of the platform. Or you can join our Patreon page for locked content, literally dozens of shows, man, over 100+ locked content shows available through our membership and Patreon. And then also, just to let the family members know, on Wednesday when we return, we'll preview the game on Wednesday. And we have a special guest for the week coming in, Mr. Alex Clancy of Locked In on Cardinals. He'll join us to preview the matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. So with that being said, I'm going to tip out on that. I appreciate y'all for joining in. And I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Who that to you now?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elvis. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that at. Where we do that at. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that at. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who That too. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.